All right, I have recuperated enough to play this game again. Well, not really. What happened yesterday is that I had a headache. It wasn't that bad of a headache, but whenever I have a headache, it just keeps getting harder and harder. It doesn't normally go away until I sleep. So I had the headache, and I knew that I was not gonna be making the stream. It was really, really rough. Because I wanted to stream. Not necessarily crawl, maybe something else, maybe some Isaac, but I did want to stream. So yeah, anyway, we are going to be playing something, ideally, something that is not as terrible as the Merfolk that I played yesterday. Or, well, not yesterday, but on Tuesday and Monday. Monday, Tuesday. That character took me 7 hours. That was such a rough character. One for the books, definitely. One that should get millions of views on YouTube, but is not gonna make 4 digits most likely. But anyway, new character, all right, new character. More crawling, more suffering. You see no difference. Yep. Do I play Oni? Well, Oni spellcaster. I am gonna die if I do this. I'll do it anyway. Let me analyze my options a bit more thoroughly because I want to win. I want the streak 4. It's been a couple of tournaments since I get it, and I want it. I want the streak 4. Man, all of these, I'm like, but if things go wrong, I'm gonna die. Maybe Gargoyle is the least one, like the one with the least amount of worries when it comes to that. I could do Gargoyle and then Mountain Dwarf for the fourth one to play it extra safe, and then I can do whatever I want after that. So yeah, Gargoyle. What kind of Gargoyle? Should I go Mage or Melee? I think I'm gonna go Mage so I can get the armor class from the early levels, and then I transition into Melee. Now, Fire Elementalist or Earth Elementalist, I don't know their aptitudes. Let me check them real quick. Mm, okay, so aptitudes of the Gargoyle. Fire is 0, Earth is 2. Haven't I already played a Fire Elementalist or something that started with Foxfire, or was that? No, that was before the tournament. I played Mountain or Fire Elementalist before the tournament, so I could play a Fire Elementalist here. But I think I'm gonna go Earth Elementalist. I was thinking Oni Earth Elementalist, but I'm gonna go Gargoyle Earth Elementalist. Just like play it safe, easy combo. Um, Excuse me, do I have caps lock on or something? What is going on? Yeah, I pressed the wrong button. That's what happened. For spellcasting to begin with, every time. Um, and alrighty, let's actually begin. And we begin by finding 3 monsters. Delightful. What is a character with 3 max mana supposed to do against 4 monsters as the first Oprahs? Like, man, even from like second one, this game is such garbage. Why does it have to be this way? Cillian, thank you for the follow. I appreciate the follow. Yeah, man, I don't like this game. Why does this game have to be this way? The answer is that it doesn't have to be this way. There's no reason for the game to be this garbage. But the developers really like it when the game is garbage. Like, what am I supposed to do here? Get out? Um, it's terrible. Like the best spot that I could be in is the one that I'm standing on right now, because it's like I'm surrounded by shallow water. The monsters fumble attacks. I don't fumble attacks. Um, and like yeah, I don't have any mana. What do? I use a potion of mana. It's not gonna kill. It might kill the endoplasm. Maybe that's the correct thing to do. I'm just gonna try to hold on to my streak for with all of my might. And there we go. We do kill the endoplasm, and the bat should be an easy thing to kill. Okay. But yeah, that was pretty jank. At least I had the mana potion to not die there. But like, come on, it. I have explored this much of the dungeon, and I already gained a levels of ridiculousness. Man, even if it gives me loot at the start, like what is going on? I would have preferred to not have to do that and keep the mana potion than receive this loot. Um, because it's not even good loot. As the Staff of Alchemy doesn't do anything for me. Let's put it like that. Mm, man, that was like the minute, first minute, and I already want to play something else. But at least I survived. It would have been infuriating, mildly infuriating, if I hadn't survived. Fortunately, we do manage to make it out of that one alive. Unfortunately, we had to use a mana potion, which is literally the only thing that I could have done, the only resource that I had available at that moment, because the devs decided that it was a good idea to give mages mana potions when attacks of opportunity were introduced into the game. And well, that just saved me, so I'm not gonna complain about that change. I do think that increasing the power level of the player at the very beginning is a good thing. I like it. I just don't like it that I had to use my mana potion at the very, very, very beginning. Like literally first minute, I am out of mana potion. And I'm level 3. Okay, intelligence. Stun arrow at some point. Yes, stun arrow at some point. Not immediately, but at some point. Stun arrow or like Sandblast is doing okay. It does pretty crazy damage for a level 1 spell, but the thing that is not immediately obvious is that it takes 1.5 turns to cast. So every 2 casts of Sandblast, the monsters take 3 actions. At least normal monsters that are not fast or anything, so it can be really, really dangerous. But it's been going okay so far. Yeah, it's only D1. It's only gonna get scary when I start seeing monsters that can hit for larger amounts of damage than the D1 monsters can. I complain about their mages is that their mid game is very mana inefficient. Absolutely. I would say Sandblast is rough because of the delay, but also that the big spells for Earth mages are like single target, and by extension, you can easily run out of mana during a fight, which is a shame that my previous character went Behemoth. I want Shriek for different gods, different species, and different backgrounds, so I cannot repeat Behemoth. Um, Oh man. Okay, we got 4 spell casting. We are gonna be getting 7 Earth Magic. And I think after we get 7 Earth Magic, we can start training Conjurations. Or maybe we can train Conjurations alongside Earth Magic. Just focus on Earth Magic so I max it first. Um, yeah, because we want Stun Arrow. We definitely want that. Um, and we're not really close to being able to cast it. I threw away my robe because I found this leather armor. It is definitely penalizing me a little teeny tiny bit, but it is like not significant enough of a penalization for me to not want to be using that for the slightly increased amounts of armor class that I get. Chainmail plus 0 chainmail. Why does the game have to generate boring boring randarts that are effectively just plain armor? That could have just been a chainmail of fire resistance, and in fact, it would have been better as a chainmail of fire resistance because you could enchant it. Yeah, I guess that mountain dwarf is the only species that could be slightly excited to see one of those things. And even then, I don't think a mountain dwarf would be enchanting that. I think that if I was playing a mountain dwarf, I would just wait for a better item to enchant. Um, Sif Muna run, but Sif Muna sucks. Sif Muna is secretly an invocations god. It's not really a mage god, in my opinion. Okay, we got Blink. That's a really good start. Jessica was free. Um, Nothing to be afraid of. We got Blink. Let me get Blink. And I guess I should learn Brom's barreling Boulder as well, so I can make use of it in time. We have spells that I do not care about. Is Manifold Assault buffed? I heard something about it. Oh yeah, it's level 7 now. What does it do now as a level 7 spell? Unarmed attacks strike only half as many targets as once. So it is level 7 and it is nerfed? Are you joking? Oh, attacks performed this way never miss. Has that always been the case for Manifold Assault? That attacks performed this way never miss. I don't remember. Maybe that's part of why it's level 7 now. But I do think that Manifold Assault unarmed combat nerf was pretty whack. As I have repeatedly said in recent times, it's just like the crawl developers target what players are enjoying and they actively make it weaker because people are doing it, which is like pretty lame. Okay. That could have been pretty scary as any character that was not a gargoyle because there were adders there. I could have gotten poisoned. Also, gargoyles have big armor class. Even like at this point, as a mage 7 armor class is kind of huge. I get immunity to poison. It's pretty nice to be a gargoyle. They're kind of busted. That they do run into some issues at the stage of the game where you start seeing like orc priests. So around D3, D4, I wonder how that is going to go. Um, we are getting close to the 7 Earth Magic. Okay, some Curare. That's nice because I'm immune to it. Okay, gotta secure the corridor. Oh wow, this guy is destroying me. How exactly is this guy dealing so much damage to me with a whip? I'm a gargoyle. Yeah, that guy didn't get the memo. I'm a gargoyle. I cannot take that much damage from a whip. But anyway, you were seeing that guy was getting 2 hits on me sometimes, and that can make for large bursts of damage, which can be really dangerous if you are a low HP species. All that it takes is a monster to get 2 good rolls on you in a row, and then you can not die, but take a ton of damage. Without the possibility for you to react, and that is not neat at all. We have Stone Arrow at 5%. I'm gonna quiver it. We have a Kobold Brigand with Sling or something. What did it have? Oh, it had Curare, and that's what it was throwing at me. You would think that monsters would be smart enough not to spend turns throwing poison at a poison immune monster, but I mean, players even do it every now and then. I know I've done it in recent times, so I guess it's okay that monsters do make such a blunder. Now, I wonder if higher level monsters, like for example, Bolt Guards, would do such a thing. Like maybe it could be something along the lines of, yeah, Kobolds are inexperienced, but a Bolt Guard knows his stuff, and so it's not gonna throw poison darts versus a Gargoyle. I think as a Gargoyle, I'm immune to being put to sleep. They have a lot of secret immunities. They have torment resistance and being an immunity to being put to sleep. Also immune to petrification. Yeah, immune to sickness, miasma, poison, resistance to electricity, resistance to torment, resistance to negative. They are kind of busted. They're kind of pretty ridiculous. Okay, that was an ogre. I'm glad that I didn't die. Let's get 8 spellcasting because I want more mana. Okay, I love Stone Arrow. Stone Arrow is one of my favorite spells. I wish every school had something like Stone Arrow, which is just a simple and effective way to kill everything that the early game character might encounter. And unfortunately, not all mage backgrounds start with a spell that fits that criteria. It is pretty sad. We have Petrify, which is Alchemy Earth. I could maybe think about learning that, training for it. We do have a staff of alchemy after all, but I don't think it matters. Maybe I should be wielding a weapon so I can tab if I really need to. But I feel like if I need to tab, I'm probably gonna die anyway. There was Orb of Light. Should I? Yeah, I should. Extra accuracy is not a bad thing. Um, we can drop this Orb of Guile. Um, the Orb of Guile, if I remember correctly, is the one that nukes everyone's willpower, including you, including the monsters, which means that you're gonna auto travel into getting banished. That's what that thing enables. I guess you can sometimes also happen to get Lugonu, and then you can banish things yourself. But more often than not, you're gonna press O into getting banished if you're using that item. I would strongly recommend against it. Okay, what goth now? Man, if I go I no, I shouldn't go Che. Like I was thinking Che, I shouldn't go Che. I could go Nudith Menos. Maybe Nudith Menos could be okay. If I hadn't gone Hep already, Hep would have been a great option. I could go Ru. Do I need Ru? Do I want Ru? I feel like I do want Ru. It is. How early are we in the dungeon? Is it like D4? Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Give me D4 Ru. Um, Not Okawaru. I want Ru. Um, Okay. This should not be as painful as my previous run. Really. I think that it would be interesting if Ru got a sacrifice that made you unable to buy things, like unable to use money. How interesting would such a sacrifice be? Maybe it would be more valuable the earlier in the game it is, because you don't know what you're gonna be getting and you don't know how much money you're gonna be getting. But yeah, it would be nice. Oh yeah, one of these guys had a buff to me. This letter armor of fire resistance. We are going to put that on, and a cloak, and a ring of positive energy. But I already have one. We don't need two, and certainly we don't need three sources of the resistance at the moment. Maybe at some point. We identify fear. That's nice. Another stuff of alchemy, rendering the early game loot that I got from surviving that ridiculousness that happened minute one even more pointless. We are not fighting the one on the Vesa. We do not beat those. Yep, we are just gonna go downstairs. I don't beat the one on the Vesa at the moment. Maybe later. Oh, that is delightful. Did I? Oh no, I went down a hatch. Oh, wow, that's rough. Okay, okay, wow, the Orb of Light carrying here. Did you see that? Because it gave me See Invisible, and so the Ice Beast didn't destroy me. That was quite convenient. Profoundly convenient, in fact. And more intelligence. Okay, level 9. On experience level 6, on Dungeon 6, I'm experience level 9. That's pretty neat. Yeah, let's just continue in this level. I don't want to fight the one on Duvesa. I don't know at which point I'm gonna be strong enough to deal with the one on Duvesa. Also, I didn't mention it, but I got an Amulet of Mana Regen, which is kind of a godsend. If you're playing a Stone Arrow character, Mana Regen is incredible. Okay, so I'm very happy to have 7 Conjurations, Earth Magic. Do I get 9 of these? Because I want to use Brom. And then I think after that we start training some defenses, fighting, maybe dodging armor. Depends on what we find. Okay, Halberd Knolls doesn't stand a chance versus Stone Arrow. Stone Arrow is peak. It is so good. Ru believes you're ready to make a new sacrifice. I can sacrifice Ice Hex Necro, Drink, or Durability. What does Durability want me to sacrifice? Dodging. Oh no, armor. Let me check the aptitudes. I feel like I shouldn't. No matter what, I have to take one of these because that's the point of going D4 Ru. The point of D4 Ru is getting like the pre-layer Apok, pretty much. And then if you get pre-layer Apok, you're just gonna win the game. Or maybe early layer Apok. But early Apok is just like obscene. It is literally level 9 spell level so powerful, or at least it was last time I used it. Maybe since then it has gotten nerfed. Oof, these sacrifices are garbage. Um, yeah, they're not good. None of them are good because they don't give me a lot of piety. Durability is a major sacrifice, so larger than medium, but it still puts me at 1 pip of piety. I'm just gonna take a sack a drink. Yeah, I'll take sack drink. I hope that doesn't kill me at some point. But my idea, or like my train of thought, is that what's the situation that's most likely to make you want to drink a potion? Well, it's very obvious. It's when you're dying and you want to drink heal wounds. Yes, but the second one that's most likely to make you want to drink want to drink a potion is when you are poisoned and you are relying on curing to not be poisoned. But I don't have that problem as a gargoyle, so I just have to worry to not be at too low HP and then take a hit because that could kill me. I want that spear of venom. That hand axe could also be pretty good, but I want the spear of venom. The hand axe is enchanted after all. Oh, big damage from the center. Bad things could happen here. You redirect the center's attack. Nice. Nice redirection. Let me rest. And let's find the spear, because I want the spear. And we can probably drop the Staff of Alchemy. I don't think that does anything for me. Bromis is at 5%, which is pretty nice. D7 Bailey is very early. I wonder if I can do it, especially with... as a Nerd Mage, I probably cannot do it, actually. Okay. I relied on the Orb of Light to give me accuracy to beat that Wyvern, and it did work wonderfully. Man, it's such a strong item, Orb of Light. It almost feels like I'm doing things that are smite targeted and they cannot miss when I'm shooting things with stone arrow in the Orb of Light, which is absolutely bonkers. It is absolutely bonkers. That's the only way to put it. Okay, there's a priest there. That is inconvenient. Oh, this is pretty scary, actually. Yeah, I'm just gonna play it safe. Go for the Scroll of Fear here because I was not winning that. Like, I may have killed the warrior, but I don't think I have the gas or the HP to survive all of that. Priests make it pretty complicated to survive certain situations reliably. You just gotta play very careful if you see a priest on the screen as a gargoyle. You know, they don't have that much HP. So yeah, and the difference was there because I did end up killing all of those things that I feared. The difference very clearly was that they were not within melee range, and I was all at full HP, so I could take enough smites to beat them. Like I had the capability to beat them when they were not in melee range. 12 fighting. We need the HP because we're Gargoyle. And also, we don't really need to train anything else for magic for a while. Stun Arrow is pretty crazy strong. We can probably get to their branches with Stun Arrow alone. Obviously, I would prefer that to not be the case, but I can do it. Okay, we found the Bailey. Oh, it's one of these Arbalest Baileys, I see. That could be complicated. Yeah, that could be a problem. Let's see how this goes. That hurt a bit, 13 damage. 14 armor class already. Do not forget that I am a mage. I started as a mage. I just happened to get some pretty okay amounts of armor early on, and I'm a gargoyle. So gargoyles get crazy armor class just for being a gargoyle. 7 armor class at the moment. By the end of the game, I think I'll have 20 just from being a gargoyle, which yeah, so absolutely insane. Um, Artless Stalker, it's nice how much of the game I explain and impressive. I try. The only reason why people watch me at all is because I do that. Um, yep. And I wish I could do that for other games because it's funny because I know a lot about Crawl. I've played literal thousands of hours. A good amount of it on stream. I do have to say that I didn't start Crawl from zero when I started streaming. I already knew quite a bit about the game, but I still like throughout all of my time streaming Crawl, I have like done this. I have done the exact same kind of content where I just explain everything, and I explain everything because the people who watch Crawl may not know everything or may not understand the decisions that I'm making or why I am making those decisions, and um, that style of streaming works very well for this game because there's a lot of decisions, there's a lot of dynamic moments, and if you know what decision to make at what time, you often get ahead of the game. Yeah, to put it in some way, it can be really nice uh, to know how to get away with certain things. Like for example, the literal previous character to this one, I am in a streak of 2 at the moment. It took me 7 hours. It was one of the most painful things that I've done on stream. That character. It is going to be on YouTube, and it featured a lot of that. It was a very very challenging character to play. I should have just called it. I am just gonna get out. You know what? I should have stepped in the portal and then opened the door. I hope that this extra turn that I'm gonna spend stepping into a portal doesn't kill me. It killed me. Delightful. Ah, man, I don't like this game. Why does this game have to be this way? Well, no more streak, so I can just do whatever I want right now. Um, if I had been on top of the portal when I opened that door, I would have been able to survive. That was a little bit of a mistake. Yeah, that was a cheap death. I don't know. There were 2 knights. They really hurt. Can whatever you want be to not play crawl? Mm, I don't know if I understand that message. Um. Anyway, I can play something else now. That is I'll play crawl because tournament. On death, not really. That was pretty lame. Especially since I'm trying to get a streak of 4. But like I'm not gonna try that hard. Kind of a shame that the streak breaker was a gargoyle. That was going very well until that. Apart from the start. Oh well. So we begin once again. This time the start seems a lot more tame. Still a bit too many monsters, but we emerge victorious. Also, the terrain is a lot easier to deal with, like because it's a bunch of corridors. And the last time there, like it was completely open and it was full of shallow water. So if I was a melee character, I would be fumbling attacks unless I retreated to the stairs. Um, oh yeah, look at that, absolutely wonderful. Okay, how do we do this? Because I have the option of tabbing um, or running away. I'm gonna try to run away. I'm of course encountering more enemies because that's usually what happens when you try to run away into an explored terrain in this game. I can go downstairs to regen my resources. We have another. I would be absolutely terrified if I was not a gargoyle. I probably would have died if I was not a gargoyle, in fact. But as a gargoyle, I have immunity to poison, and so the other does not terrify me that much. It is still a scary, dangerous enemy to encounter because it can definitely kill me with only 5 armor class, but fortunately I get the kill instead. Mm, So yeah, sorry for having the follower only mode, but like I've had a ton of spam bots in recent times, and that is the only surefire way to make it so that there are no spam bots. Um, Also, not a lot of people chat in this stream anyway, unfortunately. I feel like it's a lot more enticing for engagement when the streamer doesn't know what the streamer is doing. But unfortunately for me and my channel growth, I guess, I do know what I'm doing when I'm playing this game. Yep, 7 and 7. Experience level 4 starting level 2. Yeah, that's kind of crazy. That's kind of crazy. I hadn't noticed, but you are correct. That means that I got absolutely crazy amounts of experience in D1, except not really because I killed another. Others do provide you with a decent amount of experience, believe it or not. I killed it when I was experience level 2 in D2, so it's not quite experience level 4 when starting D2, but it's close enough to count anyway. Let's not be nitpicky here. So yeah, I feel pretty powerful because of that. I have gotten a crazy amount of experience in my first level. Mm, 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 mm. We are in a bit of a complicated situation here because I don't think I have the juice to kill them all like as fast as I would like to. At the very least, I should break line of sight of Robin as much as I can, because Robin mighties the goblins, and mighty goblins hurt. Yeah, they hurt on D2. Okay, now I would like to have a little bit of extra mana. If I have to use a mana potion here, it wouldn't be the absolute worst thing ever, but I would definitely prefer not to. Beautiful. I think I can kill this guy with Taff because I have a Dagger of Protection. You're not getting past 12 armor class. I get a helmet as my reward for for beating Robin. Cat. I mean, I'm trying to have fun here. I'm probably gonna play a cat at some point, but it's not gonna be in the tournament most likely, and it's not gonna be for the purpose of me having fun. It's probably gonna be for the purpose of entertaining people who want to see me not have a good time, which apparently is quite a popular thing um, on YouTube. Yeah, like people are like, yeah, when your runs are not really strong, that's when your content is most entertaining for content. You've been trying Cat Summoner, haven't made it work yet. I have a Cat Summoner win from back in the day when they had crazy movement speed. Now they don't, I hear, and their HP aptitude is not definitely not strong enough to offset that when keeping in mind all the other nerfs that Cat has. Um, but I don't know. I don't really know what's up with Cat because I have been very disconnected from the community um, for a while. Pretty much since I took my break from Crawl, I just like haven't checked the roguelikes Discord. I haven't kept up with the crawl updates or anything, but so far it's pretty samey as in old versions. With the main difference of a little bit new monsters and new spells, I guess. New monsters, new spells. You send your prayers. Nothing is more entertaining than misery. Exactly. You have default Conjuring Troll Fighter Repo Man 15 runes, so need something new. Troll Fighter Repo Man. Is that like some style of play pioneered by Repo Man? Yeah, I'm not making the rain. I think I missed it. It's here. Yep, it was there, and I missed it by a couple of turns. That's a shame. You played a bunch of Crawl, but you never won. You're too lazy to learn the game in details. Yeah, I don't feel like you can win Crawl if you don't learn the game, because even if you get a run handed to you, it's still like you need to not make mistakes later in the game. Um, And the threshold at which one could consider a run to be handed to them also broadens with your skill level. Like I could get an item or a spell, or in this case D3 rule, and I could be like, okay, barring some terrible situation like the Bailey that I saw earlier, I am probably going to win this because D3 rule. But a brand new player is not gonna make it with D3 rule. Um, Gone twice so far, but never as a caster. Spellcasters are complicated. If you want to learn a spellcaster, my recommendation would be for you to play Jin. That removes one of the greatest barriers of entry when it comes to the knowledge check that is playing spellcasters, in the form of like not knowing what spells you get and what skills you train and that kind of thing. Um, as a character that's not using spells, well, you just train your skill, your weapon skill and fighting and armor and dodging and those things. And a launcher character, well, uses launchers, trains launchers, right? Makes perfect sense. But as a mage, you have so many options that it's difficult not to be overwhelmed if you don't have like a plan going in. That is a sick whip. I'm going to be using that. But I don't want this guy to hit me with that. Yep, give me the whip. Anyway, as I was saying, Jin makes it so that you don't have to worry about making those decisions because you don't get the decisions. And not getting the decisions can be rough if you know what you're doing, but yeah, like you just said that you have issues with mages, and that is often the greatest issue with mages that people have mentioned in my stream. I always recommend people to play Jin, and they always come back and are like, "Oh yeah, thanks to your recommendation to play Jin, I got like my first win or things like that. My first win as a mage is what I'm trying to say." Um, Troll Fighter of Wujian Guide by Repo Man, which you found very fun. Oh, so that's the Repo Man Troll Fighter. That's exactly what I was thinking. What about the rage? You guys, you're in melee. No, you're not using your spells. Jin has rage. Is that a new thing? Because last time that I played Jin, it didn't have that. Um, Jin has Berserkitis. Oh, my whip has rage. Yeah, yeah, of course. Sorry about that. I saw whip plus 10 whip of draining with dexterity plus 3 and see invisible. I didn't see the rage and I didn't see the resistance to the deck because I already have the resistance. And the rage, I mean, I guess if I have to use it, I would rather have the rage. It is actually quite a nice thing to have as a last ditch effort because it's gonna make my melee a lot better than if it didn't have that. And if I'm meleeing things, it's literally because I need to melee things. I better have it trigger. Yep. It's not like I am going to use it for the whole game or it's gonna become my main source of damage. If it was that, I wouldn't really like it that much. But taking into consideration the context that I'm mostly killing things with magic, as you mentioned, yeah, it is a good property, rage, but only in that specific situation. Um, okay, we were that, and let's see what Ru wants me to sack. Um, Sack forms. That will most likely be the one. Ah, it's trivial. Of course, it's trivial. I'm a gargoyle. Um, Artifice, evocations, incredible sacrifice, 2 pips of piety. I'm probably doing that. And arcana, air, alchemy, and translocations. Yeah, I'll take. When it comes to Ru, you have to make the decision between okay, this is a really messed up sacrifice that might kill me, or and okay, but it gives a ton of experience, right? In this case, sacrificing evocables is rough, or well, it's not sacrificing evocables, but sacrificing. No, it might be sacrificing evocables. Yeah, you can no longer study or use magical devices. So no experience evocables, no wands, that one is that short sword is okay. Yeah. Is it better than the whip? The See Invisible might be the tiebreaker here. Oh, Staff of Earth. That is better than both of those things because, yeah, that is a good thing to have when you are an Earth Mage. Give me my Staff of Earth. I don't know if I'm gonna be training for it, but it at the very least, from the very beginning, gives me experience, or like not experience, gives me a spell power increase. So my spells are more powerful while I'm wielding it. You can see 80, 40, 80. And if I unwield it, it goes to 54, 27, 54. And spell power means more damage, more accuracy. It's just like a good thing to have. More spell power is better. Ooh, +2 cloak. That is real neat. If you're wondering why I'm carrying this robe, is because if I find a source of cold resistance, I want to put it on for the 7 intelligence. Like, that is pretty big. Sacrifice invocations would be true comedy, yes, but Ru doesn't get to, or well, I mean, you can turn it on, but Ru doesn't use that. It only scales with your with piety and with experience level. Um, so if you have 6 pips of piety and your experience level 27, your apoc is gonna be absolutely bonkers. And if you are at 5 pips of piety and experience level 9 or so, your apoc is still gonna be bonkers because apoc is always bonkers. D5 Temple, but I already have Ru. Also, I don't want to have anything to do with this. That looks super duper nasty. I don't think I... Well, I might beat the vampire, especially with 20 armor class, but I don't want to risk it. I have no reason to risk it. Sack ability to use god abilities. Oh, that would be nonsensical with Ru, because the whole point of Ru is going Ru for Apoc, really. The other abilities are nice, but since they all share a cooldown, you like want to do the most valuable thing, right? Which is Apoc. Run away because I'm out of mana. Maybe it's my previous run. The previous run had an amulet of mana regen, which would be pretty useful in this kind of situation. Wow, another Randart? Ringmail of the Orcish Mines. It's pretty good. I wish it was a ring and not ringmail. Okay, we kill an ogre. We kill another ogre. Ogres are very difficult to deal with for melee characters, but a Stone Arrow Mage just like eats ogres for breakfast. Since they have low evasion, and low armor class as well, they are easy to kill before they get to bonk you. Because if they could bonk you, then that would be bad. But you have more range. Alright, I'm out of mana. Okay. Yep, Halberd Knolls as well, same thing. Pretty scary, pretty dangerous to deal with, but we're fine. We found an Amulet of the Acrobat. Let me put it on. Better than not having anything. Shouts to my previous character, which went without an amulet for until like bolts or something. It was rough. Intelligence. Why do I have 19 strength? Oh yeah, I have that strength +6 ring, which I'm probably gonna take off at some point. I'll keep the letter of willpower. The willpower is okay, and it provides me with the same amount of armor class than the Steam scales. So yeah. Ooh, that is getting pretty dangerous. It's a lot of things. Yeah, stop doing that. I'm about to die. Terrible moment to not have identified anything. I have to say that. Yep, terrible moment to not have identified a single thing. Fortunately, the first thing that we read was Tele. How did I suspect that it was Tele? Because I didn't know. I read the thing that I had the most of, and I was like, it's Identify or it's Tele, because those are the most common things. Or it's Acquirement, and I'm about to be mildly annoyed if I die. Yeah, that could also happen. Okay, we identify curing and heal wounds once again. Reading identify on the biggest stacks, so I know what resources I have the most of. And it turns out we have a decent amount of identify or curing and heal wounds, so we should have an okay time in the early game. If we don't fight an Acid Dragon, a Hound, and Eustachio at the same time, I can fight them all one by one, but all of them together? No, we're not doing that. Um, Complicated, because I feel like if I engage the Acid Dragon, it's just gonna pull the Hound, and worst case scenario, it also pulls Eustachio. So yeah. Also pretty rough because it is getting some pretty nice rolls on me, or it got some pretty nice rolls on me. It might not do that with the amulet of the acrobat if I keep moving. As long as I'm not attacking, even if I'm standing still, it still gives me 15 evasion. Am I a console player? Yes, I play console because that's what I learned. When I started playing online, there was no web tiles. And even then, I had already been using console for a while from NetHack Online, so I already was comfortable playing with console. Um, okay, we have gotten rid of Ustachi and the Hound, but I was not full mana, so that's why I didn't engage on the Acid Dragon. Let me see if I can pull it. Okay, I was not expecting it to go from that direction, but it's fine. Uh-huh. Okay. I would rather have it be within melee range because the most dangerous thing that it can do is the breath weapon, and the breath weapon outranges me and my stun arrows. So yeah, we wanna have it not just get cheap shots on me. That would be pretty bad. Mm, man, all of that work from the previous character just to die to that Bailey. If I had known that I was not gonna get a streak for yet another tournament, I was just gonna quit that. I would have just quit the character that I played the other day. You still used to it more too, but you started using it. Started using it in the first place was a choice. So you could just play web tiles and you still chose to use console. Crush is pretty bad. You generally don't want to do that one. Sack a hand. Incredible sacrifice. I'm sacking a hand most likely. Sack skill. No, we are gonna sack a hand. Yep. You can no longer wear your ring of strength. One of your hands has vanished, leaving only a stump. Um, but yep, that gave me Apok. So I got Apok in 2 sacrifices in D7. So I'm broken now. Yeah, now I can kill Orc Knights. I can kill all the Orc Knights that I encounter. Like, give me a Bailey, I can destroy any Baileys now, because Apok is that powerful. In case you have never seen Apok, reveals Ruse Truth to your enemies, dealing severe damage to all enemies in your line of sight. Affected creatures may be paralyzed, slowed, or have their magic drained. The damage dealt increases with your piety and experience level. So yeah, that's damage 10 plus 4 to 8 dice of 15. It is a lot of damage. It is a lot of damage. You can low roll pretty bad, but the same can be said for literally everything in this terrible game. Heavily riddled with randomness. It's still a really good thing because at least you just have to deal with only the damage variance roll instead of the damage variance roll and the willpower roll and an evasion roll or whatever. It's only one roll, so that's much better than most other things in this game. So not only do we have Apok, we also have Draw Out Power, which restores health and magic, and it frees my body and mind from external constraints, including nets, webs, constriction, petrification, slowness, and confusion. The amount of health and magic restores increases with piety. That doesn't increase with experience level, just piety. Um, Power Leap is also pretty okay. Performs an incredibly fast leap to a targeted location, causing an explosion upon landing, which damages all adjacent foes. The amount of damage done increases with your piety and experience level. Damage 12 dice of 3. That is really, really good damage, by the way. It's normally 3 dice of 12. 12 dice of 3 is way better than 3 dice of 12 because it means that the floor is much higher. It's a rare ability that has that kind of die. Um, and it causes exhaustion. Like as you can see, all of them cause exhaustion, which means that while I'm exhausted, I cannot use anything that requires me to not be exhausted. Um, so that's what I meant when I said that they all share the same cooldown. The way to play Ru is rush for the biggest sacrifices to get APOC online ASAP. Think about what you've lost later, and not even think about what you've lost later because you're most likely not gonna miss what you lost later because you have APOC. It is that powerful. It's like right now I have a level 9 spell. That's the thing. It's D8. I'm experience level 10, and I have a level 9 spell available. Sniper is pretty cool. I have never ever played around with sniper. I might do it this time. Um, but who knows? Like I might do it just because I have Ru already. I have Apoc, so I can do whatever I want. And by whatever I want, I mean I can jump into a bunch of monsters, which is probably gonna happen in Lair. Literally jump into a bunch of monsters and just Apoc and nuke them. Can you use a sniper with only one hand? Oh yeah, I probably can't. It might be why it's grayed out. Is it a useless item? It is too large for you to wield, so I can't. Okay, so that means no sniper. Thank you for reminding me of that. Yep, only one hand means no sniper, but I don't mind because Apoc is better than sniper, and also I don't have to train for Apoc. Apoc is ridiculous. Oh, look at that. D8 Death Yak. What would one normally do when faced with a D8 Death Yak? You would be like, man, this game sucks. Why does the game do things like this to me? But a Ru worshipper can just press Apoc. And then everything that's not the Death Yaks is dead, and I can proceed to kill the Death Yaks now. That's 12 fighting. That was fast. Let's get a little bit more spellcasting. Why not? I might want to use a mana potion here to just finish off the Death Yak because I feel like if I shot a full mana bar's worth of stone arrows at the Death Yak, it might not die. So I might as well take advantage of the fact that it is a bit hurt. Yep. Everything that was not the Death Yaks died because the Death Yaks have big HP, unfortunately. Yeah, I'll do it. Yeah, just to make this whole ordeal significantly less painful. Fortunately, there were only 2 Death Yaks there, and I completely obliterated them. Good luck, have fun. You gotta get back to work. I hope you can get out of work soon. It's already kind of late, except if you are in Europe or something. So the abilities are so strong that not having half of your body doesn't matter. Well, it's not half of my body. I'm only missing a hand. You're considerably less handy than you used to be. You cannot wield two-handed weapons, wear a shield, launch off-handed attacks, or use more than one magical ring at a time. I have to say that for this character, the greatest hindrance is the loss of the ring. But we have Apoc, so that's probably not gonna matter. Apoc will carry me pretty hard for quite a while. You teach so you get to prep and grade in the evenings. Oh, that's rough. It's a pretty rough life, that of a teacher. I like to believe that the way that I stream is kind of like teaching, in a sense, in a very very easy sense for me because I don't have to grade anything. I don't have to prepare a curse or any of those things that I would absolutely despise if I was a real teacher. So yeah, but I do like to teach people things, share what I know, whenever possible. So I like the streaming life. If you ever feel like you want to stream, you could consider making a stream about what you know if you are a teacher. I follow a guy who teaches at the biggest university in Mexico, on YouTube, who makes videos about his topic. He's like a teacher of philosophy. I don't know if he's a PhD or whatever, but he's a teacher of philosophy, the biggest school university in Mexico, and he makes some pretty good content. So yeah, at UNAM exactly. The channel is called Filosofía de la Historia. If you ever want to check it out, I'm gonna type it in the chat. Of course it's Spanish. My main language is Spanish. He speaks he makes all his content in Spanish. You're gonna have to use subtitles unless you know Spanish, which would be neat. It is a pretty useful thing to know, I would say. But maybe I think that because everyone that I know and everything that I get to read outside of my computer is in Spanish, so I do use Spanish quite a bit. Mm, only a little. Only a little is understandable. I would like it if there was Babel's language in real life, like if everyone could just understand every other person and every other work that humanity has produced without the entrance barrier of the language. The entrance barrier of the language is pretty rough at times. Okay, time to Epoch again. Epoch drains you pretty bad, but we are at a stage in the game where getting drained is not really that much of a problem because the things that I am using Epoch against are often high enough level that I am just gonna get back all my drained HP like from killing them. Um, just shove this babelfish in your ear. Babelfish, where is that from? Like, I am sure that is something out of fiction, but I don't know what fiction it is. Is it like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy? I have never seen that. That I think predates me. Yeah, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I knew it. I should emo these guys. Aha, beautiful. I could have also Apoc'd these guys, but I don't really want to spam Apoc. Though I could have probably just done it and been okay with that. Now, an important thing about the Ru. Once you have Apoc, you can postpone your final sacrifice as long as you want, because the important thing is having Apoc, not having Apoc be max power. Apoc at not max power is already strong enough to get you pretty far into the game. Um, so let me see what Ru wants from me. Okay, I could sack drink and be maxed. I could sack durability and be maxed. And I could sack an eye and probably be maxed. Yeah. Okay, so why is Hand such a beast of a sacrifice? Because I think that what got me this far into Ru worship is that I sacked a hand. That's crazy. Is sack hand the new sack experience? Because Ru used to give you crazy piety for sacrificing an experience level and a maximum experience level. Um, well, I think I could sacrifice drink and probably not be punished by it and just like, yeah, once you get to 6 pips of piety, Ru indicates that your awakening is complete. That means you don't have to sacrifice anything else to Ru anymore. Ru abilities don't cost piety, and you're done. You're capped out. And yeah, what I meant when I said that you can postpone it as much as you want is that like on you can postpone it until you get one that really you think it's not gonna hurt you in any way at all. And I immediately had that happen. So yeah. You know what? I don't have mana. Yeah, it's unfortunate because this would be like an okay situation for power leap. Since it doesn't drain me unlike Apoc, and it also doesn't exhaust me for as long as Apoc does. But I don't have mana to use it. If it was free, it would be great. Mm. Oh, we got ignite poison, so we could do some poison package things if I really felt like it, and if I found it as well. This character already got more experience than my previous character. Let's train armor. Yeah, let's train a little bit of armor. Let me see what I have. Huh. We have Iron Shot. I should maybe get that immediately. Playing with a god whose abilities use mana as a caster scares you a little. Doesn't change your decisions, but it does. Well, Ru does have an ability that taps into your inner power to restore health and magic. Yeah, and so that is part of the reason why I went Ru. Like Apok is the biggest reason, but I was like, even if I don't want does scare your decisions. Does scare. Doesn't change your decisions, but it does scare you. I see. But why would it scare you? It's not like a hindrance. It's just another option that you have access to. Um, I should train for that instead of training armor. I just get like iron shot immediately. 12, 12. Yeah, it's not like you have to use the god abilities that cost mana. It's just that you can use the god abilities that cost mana, and sometimes using those abilities is a better option than anything else that you could have done. For example, in that room, I could have tried to kill everything with my spells, but I would have run out of mana, or I could just press Apok and kill the room. Okay, we can go to the 11. By the way, experience level 12 on the 10. It's probably because I killed Lodul and Amaemon. Those things are normally not something that you can kill the moment you encounter them. They're pretty powerful. That scale mail is pretty neat. I am interested in wearing it, but I don't think I can get away with doing so. Let's give it a try. Let's see what happens. Yeah, we lose. Well, we don't really lose Iron Shot. We never had it in the first place. Um, I knew I was going to run out of mana. Yeah, like experience does make you play better in this game. Um, but it's also not that difficult to tell. Like if the thing that I'm doing is a single target spell that costs 3 mana and sometimes doesn't one-shot things, might as well do the 8 mana thing that will most likely one-shot all of the things that I'm seeing. Yeah, this is pretty good. Look at that. I have 31 armor class. This is kind of degenerate. But gargoyles, I mean, it's I'm a gargoyle. I'm just doing gargoyle things. And I'm also a Ru worshipper. So extra levels of degeneracy going on at the moment. Also, I have Stone Arrow, which yeah, that's the cherry on top of the cake that is being such a powerful character. Okay, how are we going to deal with that? With these kobold demonologists. I would Apok, but I don't have Apok. I need to wait a little bit. I think we just wait. Worst thing that this guy can summon for my current character with Summon Demon is Sun Demon. Yeah, Sun Demon is the worst thing. Normally 650 is the strongest thing, or the thing that's most likely to kill you. Sun Demon is probably the second most likely to kill you, and the most likely to be unable to kill, or like that you won't be able to kill. The most likely that you won't be able to kill is the Soul Eater. But you get rid of summons by killing the summoner, not by. I shouldn't Apok here. Like, why would I Apok a bunch of kobolds? Oh well, I guess that's why, because I'm not hitting the demonologies with stun arrow. Please? Hey, I hit it. Let's go. Now I don't have any mana to deal with these guys. If they were any amount of threatening, I wouldn't be tabbing them, and I would be using like draw out power to get mana to kill them. But I have 31 armor class. Like at this point in the game, pretty much nothing that is not a strong unique can kill me with 31 armor class. You have seen that my HP is barely dropping. You have 40 armor class in your last win as a melee and felt super tanky. You didn't notice the armor class. This is so crazy for so early. Yep. Gargoyles. I mean, gargoyles get a ton of armor class just from leveling up. And not only that, but I'm also wearing a ring of armor class. In my one ring slot, I have armor class, and I have the +6 scale mail. I have some pretty good gear. Can I not wear the gloves? Yeah, I can wear a pair of gloves with only one hand somehow. Immersion completely broken. 0 out of 10 IGN. Okay, Catoblepas. We can deal with that. Funnily enough, we don't really have to fear a Catoblepas since it's the most powerful thing that it can do is petrify with its petrification breath, but I'm already a gargoyle, like I'm made out of stone, so I'm completely immune to petrification. It does say so here. You're immune to petrification. Immune to sickness, miasma, petrification, and being put to sleep. Gargoyles and in general characters with statue form are kind of busted like that. Okay, running out of mana. I think that we can go for a Napok here. Oh man, like I feel like I probably shouldn't go for a Napok play here. Instead, I could go for a power leap, and maybe the power leap keeps everything, kills everything, and it does do precisely that. That was beautiful. You just wear a glove in a glove. Yep. So I can get the full enchantment and the protection. Very important. Okay, let's try the power leap play again, and it is killing things pretty good. I mean, how much damage does it deal? 14 dice of 3. Beautiful. 14 dice of 3. Of course, that is going to kill things at this point. The unfortunate thing is that it does cost 5 mana, so I cannot use it when I run out of mana. Okay. I wanted it to not use that. Okay, to not use this space, so I could just power leap into it, but I can do the same thing here. Yep, power leap is pretty funny. I feel like we're gonna see a decent amount of power leap usage because it doesn't drain me, and as I already said, it doesn't exhaust me for as long as other things do. It's a pretty powerful thing to have. Better used as an escape option, I do have to say, but it's a pretty powerful ability. Okay, this Komodo Dragon is one of the things that can actually punch through my armor class. As you can see, attack bite max damage 34 on a bad roll for armor class and a good roll for the Komodo Dragon. It could technically 3-shot me. It's unlikely to happen because that needs to happen 3 times in a row, and I don't think it's gonna happen 3 times in a row. I hope it doesn't get a lot of attacks of opportunity on me. Oh, that's another Komodo Dragon. Things are getting pretty spicy now. I'm stalling for leap. Yeah, let's give it a try. Doesn't kill the Komodo Dragons, but it does seriously hurt them. I don't have evocables. You cannot evoke magical items. I was thinking Beam 1 gets the job done here, but we don't have that. It would be nice to have some melee at the moment. I like it's not bad enough that I need to use a mana potion. I can just kite them again, stall for the 5 mana, and then just jump at them again and kill them like that. Beautiful. Found no ones? No, I sacrificed the evocables. Inability to use devices. You cannot use magical devices. This includes wands and most items evoked with capital B, excepting reaching weapons, talismans, and cigarette figurines. This also renders magical staves much less effective in melee. Yeah, when I sacked it, I had one wand, the explosion wand. It was a wand of warping. That's a lot of bees. Okay, not the bees. What are what are the odds that one of these scrolls is a scroll of poison? Let's see if we find the scroll poison. We have nothing to fear from the bees. Like I have 33 armor class and immunity to poison, so they're not really gonna hurt me that much. Man, I got silenced. Yeah, silence means that I need to not be fighting those in the open. And so, like, I got silence, I immediately went upstairs because I knew that if anything that was not a bee was to appear, bad things would happen if I'm silenced. Okay, bees get big damage there somehow. some pretty good rolls, but it's okay if they get good rolls because I know they're not just gonna get only good rolls, and they need good rolls to deal any amount of damage to me, so I'm not afraid of bees this time. Normally, bees can be terrifying. In fact, I have an emote of bees. Let me see. It's been a while since I have chatted on Twitch. Um, it's that emote, not the bees. This time they're not in my eyes. Or I guess they might be in my eyes, but it doesn't matter. I was going to Apoc, but I shouldn't Apoc. Apoc is a strong tool, but it is not a tool that I should be using every time. Okay, they got marked. Okay, that is actually good because that will give me incentive to actually Apoc now. If I pull a lot of things. Come on, more enemies. I want to Apoc everything. Okay, I think that will be enough. That got me. What was I training that made me stop training? Earth Magic to 12? Oh yeah, for Iron Shot. Let's get translocations for Blink. I'm gonna need like 6. Uh-huh, that killed everything. Now I'm still marked and I don't have the access to Apoc, so I'm just gonna play it safe and go upstairs. You celebrate when you find bees as a Che follower. Yeah, they are a lot of piety for a Che follower. Come on, this Black Mamba is ruining everything. I'm gonna probably wait for the 5 mana to jump on it if I don't kill it with the staff before then. Power Leap. Which, by the way, I think that Power Leap should not be in that button. It should be in this button. Yep. Oh, monsters are still coming. I take it that there's gonna be more than 2 Deadjacks. Let's just go for an Apoc here. Oh, this one got slowed. That's a bit scary because it's very close. The one that's paralyzed is the most healthy, so I'm not gonna bother with it. It's also far away, so yeah, we can just do that and go down different stairs. And that is the power of Apoc. I can play so recklessly because of Apoc and because of 34 armor class. To be perfectly fair, it is mostly the 34 armor class, and it's like 60% the 34 armor class and 40% the access to Apoc. The certainty that I can just wipe the screen at this point in the game. The more the game goes on, the least often I wipe the screen with Apoc. Yeah, like the more often that we see monsters with this amount of HP and stuff, the least often we are gonna be wiping the screen with Apoc. But it's fine because it's still gonna deal real damage to a lot of things. Let's get some armor. This way, Apoc is a big like step out of time, but offensive instead of defensive. Apoc is like Slouch actually, in the sense that it breaks monsters apart. The thing is that Slouch deals more damage to things that are faster than you. Apoc just deals more damage to everything. Yeah, it is such a funny thing to have, Apoc. I don't really like Ru that much, but I respect its power. Yeah, like Petrification Clouds, I'm a Gargoyle. I don't have anything to fear here. It's a lot of Komodo Dragons and another rendered scale mail. I highly doubt it's gonna be as good as what I have. And yeah, it is not. What are my favorite gods? Behemoth. I like passive gods that give me just like really busted things. I like the Shining One a lot. People don't go the Shining One at the start of the game, and I think that the Shining One is super underrated. It is very very powerful. Even from the very beginning, having the aura, the halo, makes it so that you're never gonna be blindsided by an invisible monster, and you also get a ton of accuracy from the halo. It is so good. And then you get angels, and then you can bless a weapon with holy wrath for Sot and extended, where some of the nastiest things in Sot, like leeches and death coughs, are vulnerable to holy wrath. So you could holy wrath your weapon if you wanted to. Um, the shield as well. Like the Shining One just does so many things. Cleansing Flame too. Cleansing Flame is just like the cherry on top of the cake, because the Shining One is already a pretty powerful god, but on top of everything that the Shining One has, you get Cleansing Flame, which makes it so that the Shining One has incentive for you to train invocations like Hearth. Um, 27 invocations Cleansing Flame deletes Panlords. Like actually, just you cast it 2 3 times, and it's like Panlords are no more. It is so strong. It is ridiculous. Um, yeah. What other gods do I like? I guess I liked Okawaru before the rework. I have not tried Okawaru after the rework. Like that version where it had the gifts and duel was great for Meteoran specifically. Because you could just duel things and Meteoran would heal to full HP during the duel. I did that so much; it was great. What other gods? We can just press this to see the gods real quick. Ignis, of course. How could I forget Ignis? Ignis is great, and by Ignis I mean the Cinder Acolyte start. Yeah, it's great. Jiva, of course, one of my favorites. Jiva. I used to underrate Jiva, but then Jiva got reworked, and I then played Jiva. I can tell you that if you get Jiva, it's like a free win. It is so crazy powerful. Um, no, Nemelex is also okay. I don't really play Nemelex that much, but Nemelex is pretty powerful as well. On the flip side, my least favorite gods, Sin. Sin is probably top of the list of my least favorite gods, because Sin removes so many things from you, like the Shining One does, to be perfectly fair, but doesn't really give you the power spike that the Shining One does offer. Goodbye, Nessos. That is vengeance for what you did to my merfolk the other day. Um, Shining One is not summoned, therefore bad. You don't like early Jiva, you end up really low on consumables. Oh, but I have gone literal D1 Jiva on a Formicid, and it turned out okay. To be completely fair, I didn't really have access to scrolls of blinking and tele. I know that I would have been short on those if I was not a Formicid, but I was a Formicid. Jiva is just really crazy. Um, if you have never tried it, I would recommend you to try Cinder Acolyte into Jiva. Usually, you can find a Jiva altar in the entrance of Slime, so um, so you can get your Jiva worship there, which is perfectly timed to be like the point where Ignis is survivable. Um, so you abandon Ignis and go Jiva, and then Jiva carries your game because Jiva is crazy powerful. Sin is great. I just don't like it. Like I'm talking about my least favorite gods, and Sin is definitely top of the list of my least favorite gods. The abilities are purely defensive, and defense is okay in this game, but it's not what you need. If you need help killing things, having help surviving things is just prolonging the agony, is what I think. The gods that I like usually give you super powerful offensive options, or like boost you to the point where you're not really gonna need those things. Sin doesn't do anything like that. Except maybe Vitalize, because Vitalize does give you stats, right? And like having a ton of strength can be really good. Usmancy Super Fun is like Frozen Ramparts, but way better. Yes, it is precisely that. It does a ton of damage as well. Is Jiva so good for the mutations or regen and abilities? It's everything. Mutations, regen, abilities, um, and that's really all you get. Mutations, regen, abilities, and also a free room from Slime, so you don't have to do the Abyss and you don't have to do Vault 5. That is also a nice thing. Um, let's see, what other gods do I despise? I don't really despise some. I just don't like it that much because it can just kill you out of nowhere. Kaslal is another one. I feel like the Kaslal downside is massive, and it is bad enough for you to die um, in certain situations, even later in the game. Like in the late game, it's like you're gonna have to be strong enough to fight everything at the same time. If you're not strong enough to fight everything at the same time, Kaslal will get you killed. It is real rough. Once again, I'm very glad um, to be a Gargoyle with 34 armor class and be able to completely ignore bees. Because I don't know if you have noticed, but we're running out of mana very, very, very consistently. It's happening quite a lot. You like Hep for Hexes Lingers? I like Hep in general. Hep is good. My first game this tournament was a Hep Worshipper. I got it from a Fatal Altar, but I took the Fatal Altar because all three options were acceptable. Um, You've seen Jiva altars in the sewers a lot lately. If you have no god and you get that, I would go for it. Um, I should identify my stuff. If Stroke will crumble away soon after, statues that you can remove. That's interesting. Let me see if I have magic mapping. I have not used Brom's Burrowing Boulder. Um, should give it a try at some point. Scrolls of Torment are a pretty okay thing to have as a gargoyle. Unfortunately, all these guys are just gonna die instantly to the poison. Um, okay, I have already identified immolation, so I guess I can continue reading things. And there we go. We do have magic mapping. Um, we happen to have two more, which is the amount of magic mapping that I had in my previous winning character. It's a shame that those things were summoned to die because I got some pretty good summons of that scroll of summoning, like Sky Sharks, a couple of Death Yaks. Um, okay, we don't have any mana. This could be a little bit of a problematic situation. The kind that I would epoch on, actually. I'll just wait until I get out of here to epoch those things when I get out. Unless I have to flee from the Minotaur. Ideally, that doesn't happen. Um, Never used BBB, but it just sounds extremely niche. Well, you throw a boulder at something and it deals damage to things, and often it kills them. Um, but I got Iron Shot, so I'm probably just gonna use Iron Shot, which by the way is at 14%. Maybe I need to train a little bit more of these things so I can cast my Iron Shot. I'll do it after Armor. It's very underwhelming. You don't bother learning it anymore on your Earth Elementalists. So it's one of those kinds of spells. I didn't play with it a lot after it got introduced. Damage is bad and it's very inconsistent in actually opening up space to flee. The damage is bad per turn, but it does damage over multiple turns, which makes it not so bad in my opinion. But I have to try it. Okay, we have a random drink, which might be interesting. I feel like we need to check that random drink. We have a random helmet in the other gauntlet. And we have a scroll blinking. This is going to be a tiebreaker. Okay, so we get the ring and the scroll blinking. I guess that we know where to go. Let me see what I would have to fight against. That I epoch. Yeah, we epoch that. So that's literally free Tengu Warrior. Is it only one Tengu Warrior? I feel like I can take it. Yeah, I feel like I can probably kill that Tango Warrior. And here we have a worm. And what else? It's two worms, I think. Yeah, two swamp worms. Okay, yeah, we can deal with it. This is not that hard. And I'll do it for a rendered blink, a rendered ring, and a scroll blinking. Well worth it. Okay, I got flying from being a gargoyle that is experience level 14. Not bad. Plus 2 hat. It's a little bit of an armor class gain. As as a gargoyle, I get to wear helmets, and I will replace this hat for a helmet in time. But it's not only a Tengu warrior; it's a Tengu warrior and a Tengu conjurer. Still, I should be able to deal with them. Yeah, we just instantly kill the conjurer with the jump. Um, I have been enjoying my usage of the jump. We have a ring of cold resistance and 5 dexterity. That might be relevant at some point. Scroll fear. Okay, I have no regrets of going down this path. Um, Flying over water in swamp shows for free, very nice. Absolutely. Um, okay. Oh, come on. This is getting slightly inconvenient because I want to. I'm just gonna epoch now. I wanted to hit everything, but I am just gonna take what I can get. Um, there's something in. What do you mean? There's something in the way? Why can't I shoot at these catoblepas? No way. Why? Oh, it's such jank. Do you know what's happening here? These are blocking my line of sight to the Catoblepas, but because I have these, I can see the Catoblepas. So I can see the Catoblepas, but I don't have line of fire sight to the Catoblepas. And the game is making it so that I cannot shoot at the Catoblepas because of that. Um, yeah, in case you wondered why the game was doing that, that is why. Helmet of Sea Invisible, that's okay. Might wear that at some point. 5 blinkings. Neat. All right. Minotaur time. You have silver jabs, of course, and they do nuclear damage. We should not be hit by a lot of those because we would die, even with large amounts of armor class. Ring mail of poison resistance, so no curare, this guy. We also don't have nets. Hmm. Hmm. I feel like Apoc Iron Shot gets the job done. Oh, or just Apoc. Yeah, just Apoc. Beautiful. I'm gonna carry these, but I always carry them. I never use them. We have Box of Beasts, Phantom Mirror, Manual of Spell Casting. Very interesting. Very interesting item. We're probably gonna make use of it at some point. New Draconians inside will spawn lava around you, making movement without flight hard. They're not new. They're Draconian Storm Colors. Storm Colors have always been able to do that, if I remember correctly. Um, Yeah, they have of the upheaval ability. Calls on the forces of nature to blast a small area with magma, ice, wind, or rubble. Um, it is random what they get, but they can get magma, and you're surrounded by pools of lava, which can be pretty painful to deal with indeed. Um, oh, I forgot to wait out the exhaustion. I knew that was gonna happen, but I can stall because I have blink. You feel ready to blink again, but I don't want blink. I want to apoc these guys any second now. These guys really don't do well versus 36-23 defenses. Look at these guys. Like, they're not dealing damage to me. You feel less exhausted. Okay. I have to say that I didn't really need to do that. I just wanted to do it, and we're like approaching the part of the game where I won't really be able to get away with using Gapok like that. Okay, the Hydra is pretty scary. I'm gonna retele. I hope that it doesn't land me in a bad spot. It kind of landed me in a bad spot. So I guess we retele again. It landed me in one of the worst spots possible. So I guess we retele again. Okay, this might be okay. This might be fine. So we have a little bit of a problem here in the sense that we're running out of mana so consistently. I am probably gonna use draw out power here just so I can kill the Hydra. Quite dangerous to miscast, 13%. I hope I don't get a miscast of Iron Shot. Yeah, there we go. We don't get a miscast of Iron Shot. Snapping Turtle. We got a miss. Man, that miss really hurt because if you miss with Iron Shot, it's 6 mana down the drain. Um, and yeah, like very clearly, we have mana problems already without my spells not doing anything. So I would prefer if I never miscast Iron Shot again, or like not miscast but miss Iron Shot. Um, yes, that is exactly what I'm talking about with their mages being very mana inefficient in the mid game. Look at what I have. I have single target spell, single target spell, single target spell. Those are my offensive spells, and I guess single target spell. But at this point, I shouldn't be casting this. Only against bees because it does have high accuracy. Yeah, I could have power leap to the Rhyme Drake and maybe kill it, but the Snapping Turtle can actually hit hard enough for things to be a bit worrisome, and I didn't have any mana. Yeah, that will become a constant in this game, not having any mana, so better get used to it. Oh, come on, Boulder Beetle. Okay. I just had to dump all of my mana into the Boulder Beetle, but it did kill it. Um, you like using Magnabolt with Bombard OCS for guarantee hits? I want Magnabolt. I definitely am looking forward to having that. I have Hurlfire Mortar, which I could train for. These guys have okay fire magic aptitude. Um, yeah, finding a manual of fire magic would be absolutely wonderful. Let's see if it happens. Mm, Potion of 3. Potions of 3 are not that appealing to a Gargoyle because many of the boons of being a 3 are already bundled with being a Gargoyle without the restriction of not being able to move. I guess you do get a ton of HP and a little bit of armor class, which might actually be less armor class than what I would already have. Yeah, it's most likely less armor class than what I would have. So it would only be a good thing to have for HP purposes. Manuals are so awesome. They're pretty useful. Mm. Oof. Okay, melee are a bit scary because they can smite, and smite ignores armor class. And with the low amount of HP that I have, will be pretty risky to get smitten so much by something so fast. But at least there was only one melee. If it's only one, we can deal with it. What is Magna Bolt? Earth Air. Ooh, -2 air magic. I feel like I should take Hellfire Mortar instead of aim for Magna Bolt. I wish I had melee. Melee would be a nice thing to have for all these situations where I run out of mana, which are very, very frequent. And like at this point, it's funny because nothing here can really hurt me. Like the things that can hurt me are the things that usually I use mana to kill. So by the end, there's just things that are not really gonna kill me, even if I don't have any mana. But eventually, we're gonna get to the point where we are going to start facing a bunch of things that can get past my 36 armor class. Um, very easily. And at that point, if we still have mana problems, the game is going to become quite painful. So I am hoping that Hellfire Mortar will be a good enough spell for mana efficiency. And maybe I should just be training for it, like immediately. Or we could get the manual taken care of because yeah, I'll train the manual. It will give me more mana, which is good. More mana means less running out of mana, right? If I'm mainly in Earth, you think Magna Bolt or Permafrost Eruption are the best elemental hybrid spells? Since Earth's weakness is accuracy evasion, yeah. Are you telling me those don't check accuracy evasion? Um, Ice Earth. Ancient cold lurking within the earth to emerge violently. The force of its emerge blasts rock from the ceiling, smashing into the target with an unavoidable force. The cold itself is brief but unbearably bitter, bypassing armor entirely as it freezes the target and their neighbors. Man, it ignores armor class and evasion. This seems like it was made specific, or yes, it does seem like it was made specifically for me with it ignoring armor class and evasion. Super OP. So you're telling me this is gonna be level 8 soon, right? That's what you're telling me. You will always attempt to blast the largest concentration of foes in sight and never explodes next to the caster. Okay, so it is like Tin of Tremor Stones. It does sound like it is like Tin of Tremor Stones. I look forward to getting it. If we get it, it's gonna be real neat. Oh no, I typoed. Well, it doesn't matter. It's not the kind of situation where I am going to die. Like, you can tell that this game is super, super low stress because I am making that kind of mistake and not immediately dying, right? Um, the downside is that you can hit something next to you with it, unless there's something next to it as well, and that's not next to you. It's fine. You can just push things away with Brom, which, by the way, I have yet to cast. Let's try casting it as an experiment on this guy. Yeah, there we go. I don't know, that doesn't seem like bad damage to me. 2 dice of 13. I take it that's 2 dice of 13 per turn. Seems pretty good. Great combo with Mystic Blast. Mystic Blast is such a great spell. That's all the jacks. Definitely worth it to Apoc there. Um, yeah, one of the best moments to Apoc is when you Apoc and you kill so many things that you immediately regain all the drain that you inflict upon yourself. Um, the more the game goes on, the least likely that is to happen. That is an okay ring. I say okay because I'm not a fan of Rings of Fire, but the 5 dexterity is like fine. I would never use it, but it's just because I don't like Rings of Fire because I know that I will forget about the Ring of Fire. I'll have weakness to cold, and I'll find a nice beast or something, and it's gonna blow me up, or an ugly thing, a white ugly thing with weakness to cold. Yeah, you're dead. Monster, white ugly thing. Come on, monster. Oh, I guess I can't see a white ugly thing. Yeah. No matching monsters for search string white ugly thing. It's like an ugly thing with a modifier that makes it white, so you cannot search for it without doing some arcane uh, querying that I do not know how to do. So yeah, we will inspect one when we see one, and you will see that it does absolutely horrendous amounts of damage, and it can definitely ruin your day if it hits you even once if you have weakness to cold. Okay, this will also be a fine place to use Apoc on. There is a banner in the tournament for getting 6 pips of piety with Ru and then abandoning Ru before Lur, or like before you enter Orc. I think it's like you can enter Lur. and the dungeon and lair, I think, is the only two places to go to. But like, I have never done that, and I don't really care about doing it because I feel like Rue asks a lot from you, but it also gives you a lot in return, so it is fine. But going through the process of becoming the champion of Rue only to abandon Rue is quite punishing. Maybe you can do it on a really busted character like a Minotaur. But I already played a Minotaur. The strategy is to work two of them and kill them before they do that, which works some of the time. Ah, yeah, like kill ugly things or ice beasts before they do that. It's gonna be hard to kill. No, it's not gonna be that hard to kill actually. I was thinking it's gonna be hard to kill something with something that deals ice damage with ice damage, but no, because it's a ring of fire, enhances your fire magic, so you could indeed kill them before they get to melee you, but they're fast, so they can catch up to you real quick. I'll buy the blinking, but I want to see all the shops before buying anything because there's just no reason not to do that. Okay, hello orcs. Have you heard about this nice thing that the Rue can do that is called Apok? Hello orcs. Goodbye orcs. Most of them anyway. Mm, I killed a popcorn and some warriors, but as you can see, the knights, the warlords are still alive. Yeah, more intelligence, because we're going for big spells this time. It seems that we can go for Hellfire Mortar, so I'm gonna go for that most likely. Now, how do we deal with the current situation? My choice is emo, and normally I would cast like Train of Tremor Stones or Explosion Wand, but we don't have access to those things, so I'm just gonna have to go for a Stone Arrow, and the Stone Arrow seems to be getting the ball going. Okay, beautiful, exactly what I needed. Um, Wonderful. I want to kill the High Priest. Yeah. Okay, the power of Rue. That was literally just the power of Rue killing everything for me. It's a really strong thing to have. I could use another immolation just to speed up the process of killing these guys. I'm gonna use Brom just to push this guy into the other guys. And there we go. If you ever wondered how to use immolation, that's how you use immolation. Um, it's a really powerful thing to have. And I love that every character can make use of it because I feel like every character should have access to a little bit of explosions and horrendous amounts of damage to the monsters in their lives. Mm. And it doesn't really like scale down. It turns out that hitting a monster with like 7 explosions and leaving a cloud of fire on top of it scales pretty well for the whole game. Maybe like even in such there's targets for such a thing. Like obviously don't do it versus orbs of fire, but like it works versus draconians at the very least. Tukima's dance owns orc and Jara's violent unraveling. Yeah, they do. They're hexes, so I seldom use them. You don't mind Rings of Fire Eyes, you can swap them in and out as much as needed. It's just micro intensive. Yeah, I tend to avoid things that are micro intensive because I just forget. I just forget. So I know my weaknesses as a player. If you're not going to forget, then you can use Rings of Fire and Ice all you want. But I know that I will forget, and that's why I don't use them. Um, One of your favorite things in Crawl feels good? Immolation? Yeah, I like everything about Immolation. It's guaranteed damage because it's explosions and clouds of fire. It is also not just like brainless because you have to maneuver the monsters into being in a position where you're gonna get maximum value for your explosions. It's such a nice consumable. I love everything about Immolation. I wish immolation was a spell, and I don't mean like inner flame. I mean the actual immolation effect. I wanna do it to the whole screen, not to one monster. You have finished your manual. Okay, we finished the manual. We can turn that off. And we can train fire magic now, so I can get that thing going. Hellfire Mortar. We found Azrael, and I didn't hesitate to apoc Azrael. Well worth it. Let's see if there's more enemies to apoc here, because knights are a little bit scary, and unfortunately there was a warlord, mighty warlord, so we don't want to be within its vicinity. This is an amulet of mana regen. Maybe I should buy that. What sacks did I make? To get full piety? Inability to drink after injury, the hand, and evocations. Those are the 3 sacrifices that I took. The hand was crazy because I was at 2 pips of piety, and then the hand got me to 5. You play mostly deep elves. I liked deep elves a good amount, but it's been pretty rough for me and deep elves in recent times. And by recent times, I mean last year or so. Come on. Why is that guy still alive? It is almost dead and very poisoned. Ideally, it dies um, before it destroys the net, but still, I spent so much time dealing with that guy, and now I have to deal with these guys. The sorcerer is actually scary because it hits me with elemental damage. We have 1 pip of fire resistance. We have 1 pip of resistance to draining. 43% paralyzed. Summon demon is a little bit sketchy. Okay, you kill the warlord. What I was gonna do was setting up a power leap, just like that. The sorcerer survives the power leap. Come on, please. Okay, there we go. But once again, we are out of mana. So yeah, I'm definitely buying that amulet of mana regen. I feel like we need it. Um, oh, I'm exhausted, so I cannot jump yet. The priest is doing priest things. Fortunately, I can drink potions. If I was unable to drink potions, that would have been pretty spooky. Casters without mana regen feels sad in general. Some can get away with it, but certainly not this one. I'm just gonna buy the amulet immediately, put it on. Now we have mana regen. Do you like Behemoth Sieve regen sublimation for mana? Those things are nice. I already won with Behemoth, and I don't like Sif Muna. So I went with Ru for mana, which I have the option of using draw out power, but I haven't really like. I feel like the drain is what's making me hesitate. But there's gonna be a situation where I'm like, okay, draw out power is the correct thing to do now, and I'll do it, and it will work. Um, Gargoyle can sublimate. Gargoyle can sublimate. Is that a restriction that Gargoyle still has? You cannot memorize a spell because you have no blood to sublime. I guess that's fine. It's perfectly fine. I'll take all the upsides that I have as a gargoyle just because I'm a gargoyle over the downside of not being able to use sublimation of blood. Yeah, we have some Randart plate, but I don't think we're casting level 8 spells, level 7 spells with plate on. Like the whole casting with the armor that I have right now with scale mail is a little bit ambitious, but we're making it work because we have crazy intelligence. Like getting Moontroll letter and 100% sublimate is amazing. Defense and mana battery. You know what I like to do when I get Moon Troll? Get statue form as well. So I can statue form and then I can turn off statue form and have the Moon Troll regen. I don't know if that even works anymore, but at least it used to work very well. So we buy this blinking. Very important thing to have, very valuable. And we buy that cloak as well. It's on D9. Let me check my current cloak. It's +2. Is it going to be better than a +2 cloak? It might be a branded cloak. I think it's worth the gamble. It was not a branded cloak. Okay, Gargoyle can't statue form either, right? Nope, it's already in statue form. But we can make sure. Item, statue form. Oh, come on. Granite Talisman. Doesn't say anything about you not being able to use it, but maybe most likely you can't because I don't think that gargoyles were able to use a statue form when statue form was a spell. You have not played with the new shapeshifting changes? I like shapeshifting. It is an interesting thing. Especially, like, you know what the best thing about shapeshifting is? When you start a troll and you find the statue form or dragon form talisman. That is the absolute zenith of Crawl. Um, if you have never had that happen, it's super funny. It is ridiculous because as a troll, you have issues in the mid game with dealing damage and with tanking damage. But if you have dragon form, you have no issues dealing damage. You just delete things in 1 or 2 hits. If you have statue form, you don't have issues tanking damage because you have crazy HP and you also hit super hard. It's a pretty funny experience. I recommend it thoroughly. In fact, I like it so much that I'm gonna play a troll next time. It might be a troll shapeshifter if those are a thing that exists. Oh, look at this, man! Talking about talismans, um, if you're a troll and you find this, yeah, that's a cool thing to get. I wonder what's their aptitude for talismans, and if it's even worth it to go for the most expensive talisman. But it is a rendered talisman. It gives you 6 strength. Pretty neat. Talking about the white ugly things, yep, that would have been me. If I had put on that ring of fire earlier. And we got a white ugly thing and I didn't expect it. That's a shame. Hard to really get online though. Yep. Takes a while, but it is super duper worth it. All shapeshifting is -1, since the most common is -2. The most common is -2. That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, and then they have good shapeshifting. Um, Coming to think of it, it's understandable that the most common is -2 because these are spells that were multiple schools, and they're in one school now. So yeah, and they also don't require spell casting. They don't require intelligence. Okay, -2 shapeshifting makes sense. Like it being the average makes good sense. There was a thing that I skipped earlier, right? On like D9 or D8. There was like a vampire that I excluded, or was that in the previous character? Must have been in the previous character. Yeah, it must have been in the previous character. There was like a vampire. Yep. Ogre Mage. Oh, you redirect the Ogre Mage's attack. The Ogre Mage casts a spell at the Salamander. That was my bad because I had one turn to react, but Rue saved me there. 45% chance to get paralyzed, and I didn't get paralyzed. Please don't do it again. Brom time. Hey, you killed the Ogre Mage. I don't know about the low damage thing. It doesn't seem low damage to me. Also, I don't think it checks evasion, so that's nice. It is rough when the boulder goes into the wall, but the Staff of Earth giving me 100% spell power makes it so that is very rarely happening. Pile of Floods, getting punished for sacrificing evocables, but it's fine. Brom. Your boulder is destroyed. That's fine. Pretty good spell. Like, I'm liking it. There's some situations where it is pretty sick to use Brom. Yeah, look at that. It seems very mana efficient, which is a thing that I was struggling with. Certainly deals more damage than two stun arrows. Takes longer, but it does deal more damage than two stun arrows. As rock throwing species should have BBB built in. They kind of do. That's a +2 cloak, but I already have one, so I'm just gonna drop it. You're just playing bowling with a large rock would be pretty funny. All right, things are going well for me. Apart from the mana thing, but I think that since I put on the mana regen amulet, we have not really had any problems when it comes to mana, which is absolutely wonderful. I would like to find Lee's rapid deconstruction LRD would be an okay thing to have right now. What dealt 27? You dealt 27. And it did so because it hit me for cold damage, of course, which I do not resist and doesn't really care that much about my armor class. I have a couple of options here. I can use any of my rule abilities. Like all three of them are worthy of consideration in this situation. Apoc guarantees that I'm good, but the drain might be a problem. Also, it makes a ton of noise, so it could pull other things that I have not seen yet. Power Leap might kill. It's probably gonna kill this, and it's gonna deal some damage to these guys. But I'm at half HP, so that could be a problem. And Draw Out Power is the safest option. It removes my Apoc, but it puts me back at mostly full HP. I could also blink and do other things, but blinking is not such a great thing because it would just make room for the center warrior to shoot at me, and that would hurt. Um, yeah, with the short bow, it shoots for 36, so it does a lot more damage with the short bow than it does with its melee. So being next to a center warrior, it's a good way to nerf them. Pro tip right there. So I'm gonna go for the power leap. Let's see what happens. Okay, we kill the Gargoyle, we kill the freezing rate, and we severely hurt the center warrior to the point where we can finish it off without a lot of problems. And there is the Afrit. So as I was afraid of, we're gonna be pulling things. At least I have resistance to that guy. I'm gonna go for the Fogu. Retreat a bit, reposition into a spot where I am not terribly likely to be pulling other monsters. There was a little bit of a mistake. I was gonna go around, but I figured that maybe it was safer to go to this corner, so I wasted a couple of turns. You know what? This is a moment for draw out power. Yeah, look at the heal. 45. It also put me back at full mana. Man, draw out power is so busted. Okay, we found a lightning rod as well. So at this point, we would have a full collection of experience evocables, I think, between the gauntlet and this D12 bolt that would have killed me if I had gone to D12 before doing other things. Yeah, I would have a full collection of experience evocables. You kill the Arcanist. Nice. What a nice spell, Brom. But I think it might be nice because I have 100% power. Maybe without 100% power, it wouldn't be this nice. Let me learn Elfar Mortar. Yeah, so we can cast it immediately when we can cast it. It's gonna be something to look forward to, seeing that things success chance go up and up and up until the point where I can cast it, and then casting it for the first time because I have never cast that spell before. This version I have barely played, so most of these things are new to me. Reliable one-shotting at 100% spell power, worthy of note. At 100% spell power. Maybe I'm having a rose tinted moment with Brom because I have 100% spell power and it wouldn't be nearly as good if I didn't. Okay. Am I going to try out all the new spells I find? This character cannot get away with that kind of thing. Like, for example, I have not used... No, I have used Horfrost Cannonade. I used it in my previous character. It was okay. Um, it was okay. It was not something that I was relying on, but I feel like it could be good. Let's see, what other spells have I gotten? Nothing. I have used all of these at one time or another. Um, Maybe I should get Ledas. Maybe Ledas is secretly busted after all these versions of people not using it and no one knows. I'm liking Brom. Ooh, boots with resistance to electricity and 5 strength. The 5 strength is interesting. I'll sacrifice the stealth and the armor class for the 5 strength. Because the 5 strength is gonna make me cast spells better in heavy armor. Yeah, look at that, 45% in Hellfire Mortar. Oh yeah, this is looking okay. How expensive is it? It's level 7. Probably gonna need like 17 17 skill in order to be able to cast it in all related skills. Okay, it was pretty funny to use Brom on a Boulder Beetle. That was pretty funny indeed. Come on, line up so I can Brom you. Man, I'm liking it. I had something with See Invisible. Yeah, this thing. Okay, now I don't have 100% on Brom. I have 81. I mean, it still killed the Unseen Horror, so we take those. So far, I have no complaints about Brom because it's very rarely host me. Like I can see how like it just goes to the wall, like braided by the wall, and falls apart. That kind of sucks, but it's not happened that much. Yeah, that dominated those skeletal warriors, which are normally something that I am terrified of, and the boulder just completely took over in that fight. You don't know. Deep Elf don't really have mana issues with good play. They also have crazy mana aptitude. You can see aptitudes here. How do you do that? Aptitudes. Table of aptitudes. Yeah, I should have relied on my muscle memory. Deep Elf, Deep Elf mana. Yeah, Deep Elf mana is +2, so it is pretty high. In comparison, a gargoyle gets 0, as most species do. I think that +2 mana is as high as it gets. Demigod also gets +2 mana, but since they level up so slowly, it's not really that noticeable. Yeah, +2 is about as high as it gets. They also have +3 spellcasting. Yeah, you're gonna get massive amounts of mana with Deep Elf. I have had Deep Elves that have more mana than they have HP. Okay, this is a preview of what I'm going to do to Bolt 5 when the time comes. Yeah, I'm gonna do the same thing. It's not gonna kill everything, but it is going to kill a good amount of stuff. Um, and that poor Death Knight got one shot by Brom. Did you notice that? That poor Death Knight. Almost makes me feel sad for it, but then I remember it's a Death Knight, and then I'm no longer sad because Death Knights are evil. Such foul creatures, the Death Knights. Much more mana efficient than killing things with Iron Shot. The downside is that it doesn't kill things immediately. That is definitely the main problem of Brom. Um, and sometimes you just need something to die immediately. If you're in such a situation, then Brom is not really the spell for you. Sweet. What a hard counter to Skeletal Warriors. I'm actually surprised by how strong it is versus Skeletal Warriors. Skeletal Warriors for the longest time have been something that I felt is completely unfair because very few characters can deal cleanly with them, but apparently if your character has Brom with 100% spell power, your character is capable of dealing with Skeletal Warriors without a lot of problems. Yeah, I'm not using APOC that much anymore because we have gotten to the part of the game where if I use APOC, it's gonna drain me more than it's worth for dealing with the things that I'm dealing with. Also, we have gotten once again to the point in the game where we can deal with things without relying on APOC. If I see something that I want to APOC, I will APOC it, just as you saw earlier. How many enchant? Is that 3? Man, this I need to fix this color thing. Like I can almost I like can you see this line? Can you see this line? Like obviously if I highlight it, I can read it. But if without the highlighting, can you see it? Because I have a hard time reading that in my monitor. I need to change that color to make it so that that color is not something that can be printed. It's a bit dark, really hard for you to see too. Very hard to read. Yep, it messes me up, and I've been playing like that. Um, I had in Kelby I had something. I don't know what it was. If it was like a setting in my client, in my SSH client, or like a setting in crawl that made it so that that color was not there. Like it's the same color as this, which can sometimes be very difficult to see. Like I really need to get rid of that. You don't play with the full color schemes usually. Yeah, I need to change that one. That is the only color that messes me up. I can see everything else. Would be a profile for my terminal. I need to because the thing is that since I last played Crawl, I changed my computer and I didn't save the settings that I had on the other computer. And like I already disassembled it. I guess I could reassemble it because I could technically do that and recover the settings for this, but I mean, do I really want to build back the computer just to do that? Mm, not really. You've been playing with what? Cat PPUCCIN lately. I have no idea what is that. I use Putty, Putty. Unfortunately, you had to pick your own extended colors, but for all 16 that Crawl uses, for all 16 that Crawl uses, um, but it's nice. You recommend Solarized Dark. I have absolutely no idea how to mess with those things. I pretty much use default settings on PUTTY or POTY, whatever you want to call it. So I guess I'm gonna have to look up a tutorial on how to customize my experience. Something that I never really needed to do. What I do with the terminal is I accidentally used Iron Shot instead of Brom. Um, what I do with the terminal is change the font. That I do quite often. I think that Power Leap kills this setting. Yep. We don't want to get meleeed by that. It would be pretty bad. I put on the cold resistance ring because this guy's a bit scary. Also, without the intelligence ring, and this is at 36%, so it's looking pretty exciting. That guy is being nasty. Hmm. I think I'm just gonna go for iron shotting this guy. Because if I Brom, it just immediately shoots a bolt of cold and that deals damage to the boulder. Okay, and we're back to the inefficiency of Earth Magic. That was expensive, but I mean, better to have it be expensive than not being able to kill the Frost Giant anyway. Mind if you post a link? You can post the link. He doesn't want to play bowling. Yep, he was not playing ball this time. It is a GitHub link, which I shall click. Doesn't seem particularly difficult to install. I'll give it a try. I hope that it improves my crawl experience. Though really the only thing that I need is for this color to not exist. Josephine. That was Rupert. Did I see Rupert? I think it was a necromancer. Josephine the King Necromancer comes into view. What? You can do that to yourself? Okay. Give that a try at some point. Changing fonts, of course, is a really nice thing about console. Yep. Also, changing glyphs for things in your character, and it was indeed Rupert. We should be fine dealing with Rupert. Like, I'm just gonna apoc Rupert. Like changing to freshen the look a bit. Change... You have banishment at 48%. That is a bit scary. I don't want to get banished. I feel like one of the most likely ways for this character to die is if I get banished like next action. Please don't banish me. I'm gonna drink a potion of willpower. Okay, it goes for the Imbis. Now it has a 17% chance to banish me. You can see it here in this screen, though for some reason it's not scrolling down. Doesn't matter. I'm next to it. Twitch.tv/9th settler. Let's go. Okay, so now how do we deal with this guy? I'm gonna power leap. It doesn't kill it, but it probably is almost dead, or so. So I'm gonna go for Stone Arrow, and that gets the job done. Would be pretty scary if Rupert decided to peek around the corner. Yeah, that would be a problematic moment, but fortunately, it doesn't seem to happen. Seven scrolls of enchant weapon. We have found a lot of them, which is nice because we have a trove, and the trove wants +8 demon whip. We have the whip. We have the whip. It's just -1. So if I find 9 scrolls of enchant weapon, which we have 7. Yeah, we have 7. So I need 2 more. If I find 2 more, we get into the trove. And a trove can be a game-changing moment for a character. Yeah, like when a trove is good, it is good. Unfortunately, you sometimes get 16 weapon tropes. And yep, I am epoching that. Rupert goes for the, or gets the sloth. Um, Rupert also has paralysis, so 55%. Another potion of mana, or another potion of willpower. Now it's 22%. I don't have a willpower ring. I am carrying a robe. Cannot wield that. A weapon with willpower would be nice for these kind of situations. You got back-to-back tropes that want us 2 times acquirement. That is not even that difficult to pay for. Brahms. Okay, it's good. It's legit good. I'm liking it. I'm gonna keep it in mind next time I have a high spell power Earth Mage because that is good. That is solid. I have zero complaints about that. Probably aided a lot by the fact that Apoc dealt horrible damage to Rupert. Um, okay, Roxanne. Roxanne always has after a catastrophic mishap with a magical talisman. It used to be that Roxanne always had a book with a statue form. Now she always has a talisman of statue form. I don't think I want to fight her. Do I have LRD? Nope. We have not found any bookshops, right? Nope. We have a book of weapons, which it gives something that I want, doesn't it? Doesn't it give Crystal Spear? No, no, no. It gives Mystic Blast, which is interesting. What is the book of Crystal Spear then? There was a book. I don't remember. Raiju blinks, but it's fine. It was a shapeshifter. Fortunately, it was only a Raiju instead of being scarier than that. Crystal Spears and Moon Book and at least one other. It's in Book of Annihilations and Book of Moon. It's gotta be in something else other than that. Not that I am particularly thrilled by the idea of Crystal Spear, because I feel like it is the pinnacle of the problems of Earth magic, at least before this new Hellfire Mortar spell, which I am very close to being able to cast, which is pretty exciting. Yeah, I bet I could just cast it now. Let's see what happens. Wait, let me read it again. Splits apart the ground in front of the caster. Okay, so right now it would be a bit rough to use, but let's give it a try. Like this. You miscast Hellfire Mortar. It's fine. I'll cast it when the time is right. It's so good, man. Every time I cast Brom, I have yet to be disappointed by it. Whenever it doesn't perform, it's like okay, it's understandable. Like I am close to walls, and this spell doesn't do well in that kind of situation. But um, that was not bad. Your Hellfire Mortar is destroyed. Yeah, it dealt some pretty good damage to these guys. Also seems very mana efficient because it just shoots a lot. But it is a very interesting take on positional magic. Like some people hated positional magic, like they quit the game because of positional magic. I am of the idea that that is one of the coolest changes that Kroll has done. I like positional magic. May not like other things that the developers have made, but I like positional magic. I feel like it makes it so that spells are unique and interesting. And we're seeing like these spells are probably like the second coming of positional magic because they definitely like if that fight was not positional magic based, I don't know what is positional magic. Also, Brom is very clearly a positional magic spell. Breaks walls. If you make it a straight line, it cuts them off. What? Breaks walls? What do you mean it breaks walls? Does this thing... It breaks walls? Okay, what happens? This is... Surely this is not digging. Surely it's not digging. Surely when the spell is over, the walls come back. Okay, that was nice. 3 miscasts at 16%. Fortunately, it is in a situation where it doesn't matter, but like, no way it is like it gets rid of them for good. No way. That's 4 miscasts at 16%. Okay, finally. Okay, and then the walls are gonna come back. Or oh no, is the lava permanent? No, okay, the walls come back. Okay, so that is cool because you can still make use of that as digging if you have flying, which I do. So I can just fly over over that. Yeah, I have to fly through. It's pretty good. What happens if you are standing on top of a tile of lava that would be a wall when the spell is over? Is my question. I mean, it still gets rid of the. Oh, that's D15 already. That was fast. Oof. Well, time for the crawl mid-game experience. I would like to believe that this is gonna go well. I would like to believe. I am a believer that things are gonna go well here. We have swamp and we have spider. Theoretically, spider would be the easiest because I have immunity to poison and big armor class. But it could also be quite annoying because it's a bunch of monsters, like it's bands of monsters, and I have single target damage only. Uh, it's gonna be nice when I find more spells than these. All of these spells are not in my realm of expertise, you know? I cannot really make effective use of them. And even if I could, the only spell that really hits a lot of things that I have here is Hoarfrost Cannonade. That's crazy. That all of the other spells have like the same problems that I do at the moment. Well, I guess there's Fulminant Prism as well, but now that it's no longer a hex, it could see more use in this channel. If I play more crawl anyway. But it still has a problem of it having a no-core targeter. Crawl's spells are so well designed, you rarely feel like a spell is just a bigger version of an old one. Yeah, like I think that the only spells that are like that are Stun Arrow, Iron Shot, Crystal Spear, but those are like specifically designed like that. Like they are the only spells that are that. Yep, I guess that we do swamp. Let's see how that goes. If I feel like swamp is completely destroying me, I'm just gonna go to elf. And then I wonder if elf is gonna destroy me. Okay, big armor class and okay HP. A terrifying weapon, Hune. How do you pronounce that? Hune probably. From Molten Rock, it rains fiery destruction down upon its creator's enemies. With Bolt of Magma, 3 dice 14, I take it that it casts it literally every turn, which already makes it more reliable than most other summons. I love how this is actually summoning things, but it's not a summon, it's just Fire Earth. Back in the day, this would be a Fire Earth summon spell. Oh yeah, look at that. That went very well. Wonderful. Man, I feel like that's very mana efficient. Ha! It pushes you out of the. Okay, that's so funny. There is not even a message. It just pushes you out of the wall. What happens if you're in the like? I wanna find out. Um, I don't think it's gonna kill me or anything. Like, I mean, the crawl doesn't have that kind of thing. So we're gonna find out today what happens if I'm like in the middle of the wall. It might just find the nearest open space. Oh, look at that! It closes. It doesn't close all of a sudden, so it just pushes you out. Okay, that's nice. The vampire mosquito is in the way? Okay. It's a little bit funny. I have fire resistance, so this is not gonna be terrifying. I also have good armor class, which yeah, fire resistance and good armor class are what you need to deal with the will-o-wisp. I wonder if the boulder is gonna trigger the trap. We shall no. The Swamp Drake sets off the alarm. Okay, so yeah, we shall never know until the next time that I see a trap. How's the tournament? It's I mean, I just lost my first character. It was going well, and then I died. In a situation where I made a teeny tiny mistake, and I died because of that. But other than that, it's fine. Why is the console in bottom right? Where would you put it? Top left? Doesn't really work because bottom right is the only part that shows the map. Like if I put it here, you don't see the map. Scary Hydra, but I 36 armor class and flying, so this water is not destroying me. Mm. Ah, your Hellfire Mortal collides with the Vampire Mosquito and sinks back into the magma. That is lame. So if a monster blocks its path, it goes away. That's whack. Iron Shot, I suppose. Okay, big Iron Shot. I wish I had a beam spell. In this situation, a beam spell would be heavenly. It would be absolutely fantastic to have. Oh, if I position myself in such a way that it would like the only way for it to do something would be to shoot through me. It doesn't do it. That's interesting, and that's nice. Hmm. I'm kind of hooked on this spell. It's actually pretty good. Okay, first defensive use of Power Leap in the whole game, and it's not even gonna be that much of a defensive use because I'll use it to reposition and to kill things. Beautiful. Absolutely wonderful. We Brom the Bunyip. We Brom the Bunyip again. Jorgrun. I take it. Yeah, I'm immune to Petrify because I'm a statue. You meant why do you display console in the first place? Hard mode? I play console. I play console. I don't even know where the crawl scene, the console scene is. But I play console. Yeah. Here you can see my mouse even. Like I'm highlighting things. For me tiles is hard mode. Because I learned with console. I have played exactly one game of tiles in my life, and I won it, but it took me 9 hours. I have 100% win rate in tiles, and I plan to keep it that way by never playing tiles again. Unless people give me money to do that. But even then, I would probably do it on a different account. Oh yeah, LRD. You have LRD, so that hurts. You thought I played tiles and haven't done console in a while? No, I feel like if you play tiles and you have never played console, there's no reason for you to play console. On the other hand, if you play console, but you don't really like it, you should think about trying tiles because most of the features in crawl nowadays are like meant for tiles usage. Um, there's a lot of tiles added to the game that are like pretty and stuff, and people like that. For me, it is pretty confusing, so I just prefer to play console because in console I can always tell what things are, and that is legit something that I have issues with when it comes to tiles. Like I see monsters and I don't know what they are, and that is because I don't play tiles. It's because I play console, and I have been playing console for more than a decade. So yeah, there's just things that there's a lot of adjustment to do for not really that much gain for me, such as like a tiles player going to console, lots of adjustment for not that much gain, if there's any gain at all. And a console game that likes console going to tiles, also a lot of adjustment for not that much gain. In the case of console to tiles, I do have to say that there is some gain. Sometimes there's things that are a lot more visually clear in tiles compared to console, but often those things are adjusted in time, or at least that's how it used to be last time I played. That's a lot of death breaks. Fortunately, I have this spell, which is actually pretty decent. I'd remove the stairs, so I gotta take care not to position it poorly. Can I sustain more than one Hellfire Mortar? It doesn't say. I'm gonna try casting it twice. Does it get rid of stone walls? You already have an active mortar. Okay, so you can only cast one. Doesn't get rid of stone walls. What a great spell. I am greatly liking it. Like you cast it and it's so much damage. It's so mana efficient. The way a high level spell should be. You cannot conjure a boulder over lava? Come on. Why is it not some kind of magical boulder that floats? Why couldn't it be an Orb of Destruction boulder? I got get over here. This could be a problem. Yeah, when it comes to swamp, the thing that's most likely to kill you is if you get into a fight versus many things at the same time. One big one, and you will note that most enemies here come alone. The enemies are like strong, but they're not that scary, as long as you respect them. In a team, however, like this swamp dragon and this bunyip, and then these things and whatever else happens to come this way, potentially hydras. If you combine all of those things together, yeah, that's pretty scary. Yeah, look at that, a Thorn Hunter. Absolutely terrifying. Legit, I would die or Apoc, kind of terrifying. I just decided to get out of there. Oh man, this vampire mosquito is gonna ruin everything. Oh no, look at that. That's nice. Why did that happen? Did I move and then the vampire mosquito moved and then this guy moved? I don't know how that happened. Swamper snake are balanced as branches. Spider and shoals are messed up. Mostly I agree. Mostly I agree, though. Snake can also ruin your day. Like Swamp and all of them can ruin your day. It's just that I feel like the most day ruining branches are indeed Spider and Shoals. Um, I would like to Apoc the Thorn Hunter. That's why I haven't Apoc'd here, but I do have Apoc in my mind. I have not just forgotten about the fact that I am a worshipper of Rue because I have this funny new spell. Guardian Serpents suck. Oh yeah, Guardian Serpents are one of the worst things that this game has to offer. Um, Come on, where's the Thorn Hunter? Like really, the only thing that I care about killing is the Thorn Hunter, or like that I care about Apocing. The other things are killable, given enough time and like careful play, just like not taking too many hits from them. But the Thorn Hunter is a problem. Man, it's pretty powerful. The whole I create a tile of a bunch of tiles of lava thing, yeah, it's pretty strong. There it is. But it finally arrived at a point where I don't particularly care about poking it because it doesn't have a lot of support. This is kind of an annoying spell to use in this place because it's making a lot of steam. Normally that could be useful, but right now it is being a little bit annoying. Shock Serpents explode? I mean, they explode you. Shock Serpents, when you don't have resistance to electricity, they explode death now. Not for much, but sometimes just for enough. Monster Shock Serpent. Its electric shroud can discharge when struck, inflicting a painful shock on any nearby foes. They've always had the retaliatory electric damage. I don't know if it's like guaranteed thing on death now, but they've always had that. I'm actually loving this spell. This spell is fantastic. I hope that I do not run into a situation where this spell cannot do anything, but since it's Bolt of Magma, that means like um, physical fire damage, so it's very difficult for it to never be able to do anything. Hmm. It's an okay blink actually. Those crabs are not scary in melee. Bite 20, Claw 15, we have no issues with that. We also have no issues with Drain Life because Gargoyle. Stone Arrow, beautiful. New mixed elemental spells are great. When they're next to you on death, they seem to deal damage. Yeah, they have the retaliatory damage, you know. It is that. Whoa, Hellfire Mortar! What a nice spell. Like, it truly is magical how good it is. Also, what is up with this structure in Swamp? Rare to see a bolt in this place. Okay, that's a lot of ghost crabs. I'm gonna apoc them. It's been a while since I apoc anything. And yeah, that was spammy enough to be worthy of being apoced. A ghoul. I can kill it, but I need a better arena. Positional magic. I think that the only positional magic spell that I do not love is I'm struggling to remember the name. Foxfire? Yeah. Why do I not love Foxfire? I like that it has good damage output, and it is very mana efficient compared to other level 1 spells. But my greatest grievance with Foxfire is the fact that it sucks in corridors, and it's a level 1 spell at a point in the game where you're gonna be seeing like the most corridors, right? That is my problem with that. Mm. If it was like your level 2 spell, it would be magical as a level 2 spell. And a level 1 that just like deals damage, like Old Flame Tongue, I would be okay with. Not that it's that much of a problem anyway. But it is annoying to auto explore into a corridor and like just have to retreat because you are using Foxfire, where you wouldn't really have to retreat with any other level 1 spell. The upside, of course, is that it's completely massive on an open arena, right? It's one of the greatest spells that you can have in an open arena in like D1, D2. Probably one of the greatest spells to deal with an early Jackal band as well. Now, when the Jackal band is in a corridor, however, that's when things get complicated if you're using Foxfire. Permafrost Eruption is the best one you've seen, your favorite so far as well. This makes it hard to decide which schools to train for, but it works out usually since just training for Permafrost, for example, is already very worth. I have not found that. If I find it, I might train for Ice Magic, but it's not that hard to train for Ice Magic. I might do it. I could stop training for that now, but I mean, it is pretty good. And I might go for other high level spells in Earth Magic anyway. Like if I find Shatter, I would be very happy to use Shatter. It is Shatter after all. Foxfire is still usable from a corner in a corridor. There are two spaces where the fires can spawn and move down the corridor. Yes, absolutely. 8 dice of 20 in a 3x3 is crazy. Yes, it is crazy. That's like Firestorm levels of damage. What is that thing called? Maximum 2 dice, 4 dice of 21. That's kinda busted. Oh boy, and it's the level 6 one. It's crazy that that it's that powerful. And it's only level 6. I'm gonna go upstairs. I have a Cirque Spriggan Circer next to me. That is definitely annoying. We blink and the blink is not good. I have 37 armor class. Oh, but it just deals 36 with a hand axe. How are you capable of dealing that much damage with a hand axe? I mean, I could blink again, but it could kill me. I'm gonna drink. No, wait. I'm gonna use draw out power. Yeah, in any situation where I would consider drinking a heal wounds, I should probably use draw out power first, or power leap. Power leap was also a correct play there to guarantee that I was not gonna die to that guy. I'm starting to think that maybe I should get Mystic Blast. Mystic Blast here would be pretty okay. Okay, those stairs are nasty. I'm gonna exclude them both. And Strider Witch with paralysis. It has a 52% chance to paralyze because we don't have the resistance. The ring sacrifice is starting to costs us something, because I think I do have a will ring, but I don't want to put it on. No, I don't. Okay, so even if I had 2 ring slots, I wouldn't have willpower. Okay, yeah, I don't have a lot of sources of willpower. Maybe. No, that's probably a terrible idea. Like, I was thinking maybe I take off the scale mail and replace it for willpower, because I do have willpower body armor, but it's a lot of armor class. If you take off this armor, your armor class would decrease by 15.3, and that is not good. That is not good at all. You can manipulate where it will hit with movement and line of sight, positional magic, so it does make it fun. Yeah, positional magic is truly wonderful. It's so much fun. It's a hatch. I don't want to go down a hatch. Hatches are dangerous and scary. Summons were this reliable. It's pretty funny that the Hellfire Mortar is called Hellfire Mortar and it doesn't shoot Hellfire. In case you're unaware, way back in the day, Damnation, what is known as Damnation today, used to be known as Hellfire. It was renamed to avoid confusion. Like, I have fire resistance, why am I not resisting Hellfire? Kind of thing. Just like Willpower was renamed from Magic Resistance, because people were like, I have magic resistance, why am I not resisting these fire spells? For me, it's always been like intuitive, but I did also play NetHack before playing this, where you need the immunity to be immune to something, and magic resistance very rarely does something about that. Um, okay, Glottal was free. I look forward to seeing how this character fares in Spider, but I can tell that I'm already starting to lose concentration. I'm probably gonna call it for the day after I get this rune. I don't want to make any terrible mistakes. The game has slowed down quite a bit since I got Hellfire Mortar, but cannot say that I dislike it for that, because like it is a very great spell for what I need. It is extremely mana efficient. It kills things super fast. And it is a new spell, and I wanted to try new things in my crawl YouTube series that I was gonna do in August, but now I have to do in September because there was an internet outage for more than half of August. Yeah, I hope that that didn't inconvenience you all too much. But there was really nothing to do about that. Nothing that could be done about that. Where did I put Stun Arrow? I think it's the first time that I cast a Stun Arrow properly by pressing the key instead of shooting it from the quiver. Wait, I can't Hellfire Mortar through the briars? Huh. Beautiful. Okay, there's not really much to say about this part of the game, so that's why the commentary has reduced. Also, I'm focusing more than giving commentary over what's happening. Like I think you can see what's happening, and it's just about how to aim Hellfire Mortar best. Um, how to not sabotage myself by not giving myself willpower in front of a Fence Strider, which maybe it is worthy of applicking since I don't have the resistance. Okay, but fortunately, good guy Swamp Worm pulls me over there, and we can get rid of it. There we go, and then I can go upstairs, and then I can get rid of the Leonoma. Level 18. Gonna exclude that because it's surrounded by enemies. How much spell power do I have on Hellfire Mortar? 56%. Does it really do 3 dice of 15? Yeah, it does. Only 3 dice of 15, but the thing is that it does it every turn for like 7 turns, so it is super worth it. No, well, it's fine because it did do a lot of damage to the Swamp Dragon. I'm noticing that with this character, I am running into many situations where I am at like 40 HP and I do not feel the kind of sense of, oh, I'm about to die, I should play very carefully that I would with most other characters. That is not a good thing because it means that a little bit of sloppy play could get me killed. So I have to keep it in mind. It's just like when you go through the whole game with the ability to actually survive those kinds of situations without a lot of problems, that kind of conditions you into thinking that those situations are not dangerous, when in reality they will be dangerous the more the game progresses, right? The more you find enemies that actually have the damage output and the burst to hurt you, enough to bypass your resistances and defenses. And we're almost there. Like it's not really happening here, but it is going to happen very soon. Like maybe Spider. Definitely by the time I get to depths, or maybe even bolts. In bolts, I'm probably gonna have to swap away from the 6 intelligence ring into ring of cold resistance, but I don't have to do that immediately, so I can just postpone that for a bit. I'm gonna turn off fire magic, and we're just gonna train earth magic only because I am interested in starting to train fighting again. I feel like we have gotten to the point where 12 is just not enough. Um, I am doing the bolt, and that's a shame because I would like to emulate the swamp bolt. That's one of my favorite things to do in this game. Bolt steps is a bit step up since there are bigger groups together. Yep. No, Spriggan Rider ruined everything. Whenever a flying monster does that, that sucks. Um, okay, for once, I wanted the blink to blink me deeper in so I could apoc everyone, but It didn't happen. It's fine. Yeah, if I see a Thorn Hunter or, well, no, not really a Shambling Mangrove. If I see a Thorn Hunter, I would Apoc it. Um, it's so powerful. Um, in this case, it's not only the damage output of the spell, but also the ability to just make lava. And since it's making lava, it is preventing the Hydras from reaching me, right? So yeah, overall, it is just so powerful. In many different ways, it is a crazy powerful spell for many different reasons. It has utility that is not often seen in crawl spells. Like it breaks walls, it turns things into lava, so things cannot reach you. Like it is so weird. It's got a lot of elements of a lot of spells that have been removed from the game, bundled into one high level spell. Like it's digging, because there was a digging spell in Crawl once upon a time. Um, it is Conjure Flame in a sense because of the lava. It is a summon spell. Those haven't been removed, but it is pretty nice to have. Man, it is so weird. The barrier it forms is your favorite part, like the lava. Yeah, the pools of lava are super useful. And there we go. This bolt I should have immolated. If I had used immolation, it would have been over in seconds. Um, but unfortunately, the monsters got out before I could do that. Okay, absolutely wonderful. We find another death talisman, but we are not really gonna make use of it. What? Yeah, -3 shapeshifting. Worth it for the characters that actually want um, shape-shifting talismans, but not for this one. This one is perfectly fine being a gargoyle. Why was that? Why is that alligator running away? What happened there? Did you see that? That was pretty weird. Um, in this game, monsters do not tend to run away unless they're special case to run away, and I don't think alligators are. I like the utility, but I do have to say that having to aim it is a little bit annoying. Did it try to pull the mortar? No, it was just running away from the mortar. It was not pulling the mortar. Anyway, it would be funny if it could pull the mortar out of the lava. I don't even know what would happen in such a situation. Let me see what we got here. A million things. Yeah, sure. Just because I'm actually powerful enough to do this with Apoc. I know that you have been forgetting about Apoc. But how could we forget about Apoc? Apoc is the whole reason why we are this powerful in the first place. Um, Without Apoc, we wouldn't have gotten to this point. And that is a pretty okay cloak. Actually, great. Um, yep. I'll sacrifice 2 armor class gladly for willpower and cold resistance. Okay, that massively improves my resistance screen to the point where I could probably win the game with those resistances. With a lot of armor class, a little bit of dodging, and a lot of HP, which I cannot get a lot of HP as a um, cannot get a lot of HP as a gargoyle anyway. They have -2 aptitude for HP. Mm, it caps out at around 180. So yeah, we are done with Swamp. And now I would like to Elf? Because I was thinking about maybe Elf. Could be risky with only one source of willpower. 16% chance to get vanished. I think I could do Spider. Let's give it a try a little bit. If I feel like it's not gonna be very difficult, I can probably just do it in one go. But if I'm making mistakes, I like if I feel like I get into a fight where I mess up and I have to apoc, I am going to win that fight and then I'm gonna end stream. Um, you know what? I shouldn't have mortar on the quiver. Let's go back to stone arrow. You know, I think that one of the worst things, if not straight up the worst thing that could happen to this character, is stumbling upon a ghost mod, because then we would be back to the beginning where we were having issues with mana. And in the beginning, we didn't really have a clean way to deal with those mana issues. We were tabbing with the Staff of Earth, even if it was horrendously inefficient, just because I was that powerful. Oh, does this guy always have a Randart hat? It seems to be the case, and in this case, that Randart hat is kind of beast. Even if it gives -2 intelligence, I will take the double willpower, and that will mean that I won't have to worry about getting hexed for the rest of the game. It is also a little bit of an armor class increase. Let me curare Wiglaf. Oh no, it has poison resistance. Let me net Wiglaf. What else do you do apart from being strong? Oh, you have Hellfire Mortar as well. The Gunner Dwarf. Does Gunner Dwarf doesn't have a launcher? You would think that a gunner would have a hand cannon, wouldn't you? But doesn't seem to be the case. Um, Wiglaf dies, and so I get my reward. Didn't even lose the net. Extremely convenient. All right, that went fine. Yeah, we will take the intelligence loss for the for the crazy willpower increase. Like legit, now we have no issues going to elf because I know I'm not gonna get banished. Nothing will hex me for the rest of the game thanks to the hat that Wiglaf decided to so graciously donate to my character. Um, yeah, every now and then I should check um, that spell list because I may pick up a book that I would like to have and not realize it. With this character, I often find myself thinking that it would be nice to have Irradiate, but I have not found it. And even if I did, let's see, Alchemy, -2 Alchemy, yeah, it would be a little bit rough to use that. Yeah, 41 damage from the Pharaoh Ant biting me. And they do good damage, those Pharaoh Ants. It also got 2 hits on me, or no, it didn't get 2 hits on me. 41. It was mostly the Pharaoh Ant, but the Demonic Crawler also contributed. Yeah, that's the kind of thing that will happen. It's funny that nothing in Swamp hit me that hard. And then just a random Pharaoh Ant in this place hits me that hard. Yeah, 43 damage with 21 drain life. The perils of having low amounts of max HP. I'm working on it, but don't expect it to be going up drastically anytime soon, like it would with a character with better HP aptitude. Yeah, if by the time I enter the bolts I have like 130, it's gonna be not miraculous, but it's gonna be really nice. And wow, a single cast of Hellfire Mortar just cleanly dealing with an Emperor's Corp, something that I wouldn't be able to do with 4 iron shots. Yeah, Hellfire Mortar is wonderful. What a spell. Look at that. Man, these Emperor's Corps really don't stand a chance versus Hellfire Mortar. This place is taxing my mana a lot more than Swamp did. Yeah, some single encounters are fair. I think that the banned spam that Spider has to offer is not as fair as the Swamp single encounter fights, because the fights in Spider can more easily spiral out of control than the fights in Swamp. More often than not, I guess that Swamp has a higher ceiling of nastiness, but Spider has a more average level of nastiness. Like the average encounter in Spider is gonna be annoying because it's a band of things that are fast and are gonna be surrounding you, or it's an Emperor Scorpion. And Swamp is not really like that. Where did that Emperor Scorpion go? Okay, just completely dodging my mortar. Okay, so far it's going well. I didn't expect it to go this well. Yeah, running low on mana here. I have draw out power as an option, so do not be afraid. Another reason, like I don't think I mentioned it when I picked this mutation, but another reason to pick it is that like I knew that I had draw out power as an option because I'm a rule worshipper. So if I want to drink to regain HP in a dangerous situation, it's a much more turn efficient move to use draw out power instead, if I have access to it anyway. Um, if I'm exhausted and in a dangerous position, like things are real bad with this character. But it's likely that we are not gonna be in such a position. Yeah, unless I mess up bad. I have to say that the crawl mid game experience hasn't been as horrendous as I thought it was going to be originally. I wonder if it's because the character has been getting some like stealth buffs, but no, like I've been using this scale mail for a while. The cloak and the hat I only just received. No, no, I guess it's just a strong character, and I was underrating how strong it was. Um, as long as we don't get in, as long as we don't find ourselves in the kind of situations that the Pharaoh Ant put me in earlier, where it hit me for like 40 something damage in a single turn. As long as that doesn't happen too often, we are fine. Like it can happen once or twice, especially if I have the HP to tank it. But if it happens too much, then we're gonna be in some trouble. Here I would love to have LRD. We have yet to find that spell. It's just not been part of my spell set this time. But it would be a wonderful spell to deal with Spider. Entropy Weaver's really nasty to armored characters too. They corrode and have multi hits. They're more nasty to characters that are not armored. In fact, armored characters are kind of good for dealing with Entropy Weavers because at least they are not so naked after they get corroded. If you're playing a low armor class character and you find an Entropy Weaver, you go from being a low armor class character to being a no armor class character, and that can be absolutely terrifying. And I kind of want to jump in, but I know that I shouldn't. Also, let's check how much damage it deals. 15 hasn't really gone up a lot. Um, yeah, this would be a nice time to have like Fireball or something. Oh, there's a Book of Flames in Swamp 1, which doesn't have Fireball, but it does have Flame Wave, and I feel like Flame Wave would be an okay thing for me to have. I want it, I want it, I want it, I want it. Normally I just ignore those, but ooh, Nicola. I can probably deal with Nicola just fine, in fact. Apoking Nicola makes sense. Magic Disrupted. Hmm. It's a lot of spiders. I guess that I made a ton of noise, or that I have been making a ton of noise by casting Hellfire Mortar. So now I am exhausted and I don't have the mana to continue fighting. I'm a bit scared of the current situation. I'm just gonna go upstairs and like play it safe. Um, I'm gonna regen my mana because we have mana regen, so it's not gonna take that long, and we can go back and Nicola might still be hurt. And yep, Nicola is still hurt. I could even Apoc Nicola again if I so desired. Yep, 40 damage. Where did that 40 damage come from? Did Rat Roach just hit me that hard? Okay, sometimes it is just like that. I might as well take advantage of the fact that I can still drink potions and drink one. Not all in life is draw out power. How am I getting damage numbers in my log? I want that. I have a script in my RC file that prints the damage amount that I took. It's not 100% accurate because it doesn't take into account like region per turn, so sometimes you just take slightly more damage than it prints, but I mean, it gives you the effective information, um, which is like you regain this much HP and you now have this much mana, which is more important than like perfect accuracy, where we're like, oh yeah, you took this much damage, but you regen this much HP. Like, who cares about that? What matters is how much HP you have at the end of the day, or at the start of the turn. Abok. Okay, yeah, just get rid of that, Nicola guy. You look around, Lua, I assume? Yep. I can link you to my RC file. In fact, I had it set up so that this worked. Oh, but of course the bot is gone because I didn't stream for a while. Well, I'm not gonna set up the bot again, but or I'm not gonna set it up right now, but I can search for the. Hold on. Okay. Okay, here we go. I found it. You need to clean your RC file at some point. You still have a bunch of stuff for all held effects. Yep. I think me too, but I just comment those things out. I only clean my RC file when the game gives me an error message because of settings that I have in my RC file. Okay, this time we have the luxury of a lot of magic mapping, so I'm gonna make use of it. And we have the ice cave pretty close to us, which is nice. I have 1 pip of resistance and 38 armor class. Ideally, that is going to be enough, but it's a hard ice cave, so maybe it won't be enough. Beautiful. So good. Turns out that it is great to have Hellfire Mortar when coming here. The Mortar is destroying these things pretty good. Yeah, Simulacra don't stand a chance versus the Hellfire Mortar. They often get one shot. They're weak to fire after all. Don't ruin things, Freezing Wraith. Ah, Freezing Wraith ruined things. Oh, I'm out of mana. But this is not so dire of a situation for me to use draw out power or other things. So I'm just gonna wait it out, and yep, waiting it out got the job done. Maybe if I didn't have the cold resistance, it would have been scary. Simulacra also really low max HP. Yeah. Low max HP plus weakness to fire, that's not really a good combination for them when dealing with a fire mage. No statues? What is going on here? There used to be statues here. Caustic Strike Simulacrum. Wow, it killed the Hellfire Mortar. Oh no, it didn't kill it. It collided. That's lame. This spell would probably be annoying to use if I didn't have Permaflight. That's something that I have just realized. The Permaflight is probably being really, really helpful for the purpose of using Hellfire Mortar. Makes it so that I can follow the mortar, and the monsters will follow me, and the mortar will attack them, so they will never be out of the range of my mortar. Skin of Sore. For the funsies, I let's see what it says. Oh well, 3011. 3011 are not terrible stats, but of course I would rather keep my armor. 38.9 versus 30.11. Yeah, I think the answer is very simple. By the way, I cannot wear a shield because that is part of sacrificing a hand. You sack a hand, you don't get to wear a shield, which I think is kind of silly because I think you should be able to choose between using a shield and using a weapon if you sack a hand. There's some characters that I've had where I wouldn't mind not having a weapon, if it means that I can wear a shield with one hand. I am definitely ending stream after I get the rune from Spider because we're in Spider 4 already. I might as well just get the rune and end stream. I appreciate the continued support, everyone, and I hope that you enjoyed the stream today. I have been having surprisingly a good time, despite the fact that I died earlier in a situation where I feel like I shouldn't have died. I just got reasonably unlucky, getting hit for 30 2 turns in a row with 60 max HP. Sometimes that kind of thing happens. And if it happens enough, well, you can always just go play something else. Thanks for the stream and the conversation. Anytime, anytime. That's what the stream is supposed to be about. I like streaming. I like it when my stream is what you got to experience today, which is a bit of an annoyance because I don't think that I can get that kind of conversation going when I'm playing things that are not crawl. My experience with crawl allows me to get away with doing that, and like it doesn't really translate to other games that I have played in the past. And on stream, like often I am very quiet whenever I'm playing things that are not crawl. We saw Lich there, and I went immediately for Apoc, and it was fine. It was a pretty okay Apoc. It killed a bunch of things. The 3% miscast Hellfire Mortar at 10 mana. And I was like, okay, we're safe here. And then I I got the 3% miscast. Oh, I'm not dying here, but I cannot draw out power. At least I can drink potions, so the flowchart says that I should drink a potion of mana. Like, they're valuable and they're scarce, but this is the kind of situation where it is okay to drink one, just to get rid of these guys. There we go. Worthy of note is that if I had some melee skill, like melee skill would have gotten rid of those guys. But it's fine. I do not mind not having melee skill. Wait, the Lich was the boss? I was expecting more. Globes of Hurling, but we don't care about Hurling. We have normal globes. Okay, I'll wear the Globes of Hurling if my globes are normal. I thought that I had Randar globes for some reason. That ring is not great. Oh, maybe the Lich wasn't the boss. Maybe there's more. Ouch. That hurt, but it didn't blow me up. Fortunately, it was alone. Okay. Oh, permafrost eruption. It's finally here. Yeah, and I can kind of already cast it at 19%. Sweet. Damage 2 times 4 dice of 10. Good excuse to go into Polar Vortex later. I don't know if I can afford to do that. That's very expensive. Like, I could go into well, maybe Farstorm. No, probably not Farstorm, but I could go into Shatter. Like, definitely if I get Shatter, I'm going for Shatter. But it hasn't appeared yet. Well, that was worth it, just because I got that spell that everyone's saying is super busted. Um, I believe it because it's a nice magic spell, and those tend to be super busted. And then they get nerfed to the ground, and they're still pretty strong after getting nerfed to the ground. Like example of Sukubu's Refrigeration. Blinked away from the Orb of Destruction guarantees, well, not guarantees, but greatly increases the chances that I do not get hit by it. Melee, we can do that. Oh no, the melee are gonna ruin everything, right? No, they don't, because good guy Hellfire Mortar prioritizes them. I wonder if it's like if it's coded in such a way that it knows that it needs to get rid of the things that are in front of it, and it like aims at the things that are in front of it first. If it works like that, then that's genius, and I'm a big fan. Are you sure you want to stumble around while confused and next to your Hellfire Mortar? Not really. Let's get rid of the confusion. Or Vortex deletes Orbs of Fire and also Superman efficient, just can't use it in the corridor. Yeah, I know. It is one of the strongest spells in the game, like probably the spells that does the single most amount of damage in the game. Um, and the most mana efficient level 9. Like all the other level 9s are like cast it once and then it will do a huge burst of damage immediately. Polar Vortex is more like cast it and it will melt things. Um, I have used it since it was Tornado back in the day. You miss the old Glaciate when it was a cone? Okay, we got Ghost Moth. Finally, we got a Ghost Moth. Potion of Invisibility. I never use those. Oh wait, does the Hellfire Mortar see invisible? Is the question. I do not know if it sees invisible. It does! Huge! Okay, massive. Please get rid of that thing. Okay, okay, that took like 5 shots. Oh no, there's another one. I'm still invisible. Pretty messed up, by the way, that there's multiples. It's a literal sod monster. I always say it's a literal sod monster. Doesn't have any place being here. I don't know if it killed the ghost moth, but I think it did. Oh, Shaq Crixis. It's the second time that I find Shaq Crixis. Shaq Crixis kinda sounds like a Phyrexian name for some reason. It gives me that kind of vibe of old Phyrexians before Scars of Mirrodin, kind of Phyrexian. What? Man, that guy just died. Like, I didn't do anything. That guy just died. That's crazy. I just cast this once and it died. I thought, oh, this guy is gonna tank a bunch of those. I'm probably gonna have to cast it twice, shoot some iron shots to support it, but no, it just died. Ghost Moth again. Invisibility, because we don't want to be out of mana. Out of mana, but mana regen has still been carrying me. Whenever I run out of mana, I know that I can accumulate 7 mana real quick thanks to the mana regen amulet. And if I really, really need mana immediately, there's always draw out power. All of that was, well, not all of that, but like the draw out power part was um, something that I had in mind the moment that I decided to go Ru. For the previous run and for this one. Like I suspected stuff like this was going to happen, and I thought that draw out power would be a nice supplement for this character. In general, for Earth mages, since they are so mana hungry. Do you play for turn count? No, never. I rest to 90%. Like my RC file is set up to rest to 90% because I can rest to 90% instead of resting to 100%. And it is almost effectively the same almost always, and it just saves you a ton of turn count, which can prevent you from getting host randomly by the salt clock. I don't really play for turn count, but I do try to not waste turns for no good reason. Mm. Can I not aim this? Oh, this is a stone. I can't aim it then. Time to try the new spell, I suppose. From Frost. Well, that's pretty good. Oh, Ghost Moth, delightful. I have one more Imbis, and I have Draw Out Power. Well, I would draw out power if I wasn't exhausted from Epoch. Once again, Potion of Mana. It's fine. Something prevents your mortar from forming. Man, I don't like Ghost Moths. Okay. Fortunately, that guy gets rid of Ghost Moths real good. Now, if this closet has a Ghost Moth in it, which can happen, that's gonna be terrible. Doesn't seem to be the case. And I have rune number 2 in my possession. Beautiful. Yep. Overall, what's my feeling about this spell? I really like it, but if I didn't have flying, it would be kind of annoying. And it does slow my game a bit too much. It's something that I just noticed, that it slows my game. Like my speed, the speed at which I play, it's slowed down quite a bit by me using that spell. Um, Man, this spell is exciting. So yeah, we got 2 runes, and now I think that I'm gonna leave it at Elf, and I'll come back and finish this character tomorrow. I'm gonna do Elf, and I'm gonna do Bolts, and I might do. Well, I'm not might. I'm gonna do Bolts 5. Like I'm gonna epoch Bolts 5, and it's gonna be wonderful. So you can look forward to that. I am almost certain that the bolt is not gonna kill me. I just have to be careful, but I am powerful enough to survive most encounters. Um, so yeah, thank you for the continued support once again. Thank you for everything. I'll come back tomorrow. See you around. Have a nice rest of your night. You play on Akrasiak too? Yeah, I used to play on Kelby, but Kelby closed a couple of months ago. Um, so now Akrasiak it is. Berotato tends to be down often, though I don't know. Recently, maybe they have figured that out. Um, have I been seeing any performance issues on KO? On Akrasiak? Not really. Not today. Um, No, actually, not in the entirety of the tournament. Somehow it's been pretty lag free. This server was known for being on the laggy side of things during the tournaments, especially. But no, I have not had any problems. Do note that I only play whenever I am playing on stream. So if I had issues, you would have noticed those issues as well. I would have commented on those issues, but no, no issues this time. So yeah, I will end stream now and I will be back tomorrow. See you around. Thank you for everything and have a nice rest of your night, everyone.